Hello, good evening. My name is Richard. This is Over and Over and Over Again, and this is Matchday Live. England versus Wales, of course, at the World Cup. England just need a draw to go through. Wales have to win and hope the other game goes in their favour. We'll keep you up to date with what's going on in Iran against USA as well, which a bit of animosity between those two countries over the years, hasn't there? So, but obviously we're going to be mainly focused on this game, England against Wales. It's going to be a big one coming up. The other side of this. Real Martinelli. It's now with Granit Xhaka. Is it going to be the third goal? It is the third goal. Granit Xhaka with it. That seals it. So England versus Wales in Group A. If we win the group, we will play Senegal in the next round. And if we come second in the group, which we would do if we draw and Iran win, for example, then we would play Holland, who maybe might be best to avoid them, mightn't it? Anyway, we've got the team news in for this game tonight. For England, there's actually 4 changes to the side that drew 0-0 with America on Friday. So in goal, it's Jordan Pickford as normal. Kyle Walker comes in at right back. John Stones, Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw as it was before. Jordan Henderson comes into midfield in place of Mason Mount, and he's alongside Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham. And then in the front three, there's 2 changes. Phil Foden comes in for Bukayo Saka. Harry Kane, of course, through the centre, and Marcus Rashford replaces Raheem Sterling. So that is the England lineup for this game. For Wales, then, Danny Ward comes in goal, obviously, due to Hennessy's suspension. They're back for Nico Williams, Chris Metham, Joe Rodden and Ben Davies. The 3 in midfield, of course, we know him very well. Aaron Ramsey, Ethan Ampadu and Joe Allen. And the 3 up front, of course, Gareth Bale, the captain, Kiefer Moore and Daniel James, of course, of Fulham. So they are the 2 lineups then. So, you know, Wales have got their strongest side that they possibly can get. We've made a few changes to our team. And I do feel this is going to be a difficult game. Yes, we've got a lot more quality than them. There's no doubt about that. But, you know, Wales are going to be up for this game. They know they have to win. And in a way, that maybe plays into our hands a little bit, because what it means is Wales are going to have to, at some stage of the game, if it stays 0-0, they're going to have to come out and attack and try to get a goal, aren't they? Which could leave us opportunities to counter-attack and get goals that way. So, but we saw in the Euros, didn't we? In 2016, it was a really tough game. It took a late goal, didn't it, from us to turn that round and win. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be tough tonight as well. It really is going to be tough. But the good news is, you know, we only need a draw. And even if the worst came to the worst and we did lose by a very small margin, we could still potentially go through. In fact, we still more than likely would go through, due to, you know, the other result would depend on that maybe, but we'd have to see how that works out. We've got a comment in already from Kevin. He says there, reminder to all Welsh fans and players, you are within the 24-hour period where seat reservation is now free of charge. Enjoy the flight. Obviously expecting Wales to be going home after this game tonight. And yes, I think most people do, let's be honest. It would take, you know, the 2 results to go in Wales' favour. They'd have to win this game first of all, and then they'd have to rely on USA against Iran finishing in a draw, which, I mean, it could potentially finish in a draw. But yeah, it's all, it's not really, Wales haven't really given themselves a lot of chance, have they? That defeat against Iran on Friday has really put them in a very difficult position. But we're not worried too much about Wales. We just want to focus on England and getting the performance right, because, you know, the performance against USA was very, very flat for whatever reason. I don't know. We didn't have any urgency and stuff like that. Whereas tonight we're going to have to, aren't we? And yes, the group stage games aren't massively important, are they? Let's not kid ourselves. You know, you know, we've seen it in previous World Cups. You know, nations that sometimes haven't played particularly well in the group stage have gone on and done well in the competition. Even some have gone on to win it. So, you know, the group stage games are all about getting through the group and obviously winning the group ideally. And that's what it's about. And yes, if the performances are great, then fair enough. But it doesn't really mean anything, does it? If you get enough points to go through, then that's what matters, isn't it? And then it gets the knockouts where, of course, then it's it's win or you're out, basically, isn't it? So that's when it really matters. And I think that we've got the potential in this team, certainly in the squad of players, to go a long way in this tournament, as we have done in the previous two. But my worry is the manager really going to be able to take this team to that level and actually win us a trophy? I'm not sure if he is, but ultimately, while we're still in the World Cup, we're going to get behind the team and hopefully we can go a long way. Who knows? But the important thing tonight is obviously getting this right result tonight, putting that America performance behind us, because that was really, really poor, as we know, and hopefully moving on and getting out of the group. And hopefully, if we win the group, I say we will face Senegal, who, let's be honest, are a team that you would fancy our chances of beating. Let's be totally honest about it. So yeah, let's see how that goes. It's going to be tough. It's going to be interesting, but let's get through the group first. Let's hopefully win the group first, and then we can see who we are playing and stuff like that, and worry about that, which I think will be on. I think it's on Saturday, isn't it? I think if we win the group, we'll play on Saturday. But anyway, we'll look at that afterwards, depending on how it all finishes tonight. And how the other game in this group finishes as well. In terms of the team selection, then what are we making of that? Then I mean, it's there seems to be a lot of talk about Phil Foden coming in, and Gareth Southgate's done a popular choice, and Phil Foden probably does deserve his opportunity, doesn't he? And Marcus Rashford's come in as well. It looks as though actually Rashford's going to be playing on the right where Saka was playing, and Foden's going to probably be on the left where Sterling was playing. And, just making a little bit of a freshening up at the front three, probably a good idea. I didn't think Saka had a great game against America, if I'm totally honest, but then nobody did. And Sterling as well didn't really have much influence on that game. So, yeah, it is what it is, and let's see if it makes a difference. I mean, I think we're all excited to see Phil Foden play. We know what a great player he is, and it's a big opportunity for him in the World Cup, isn't it? Still a young player, let's not forget, but he's got a lot of quality, hasn't he? And he could be key to England winning this game. You know what Wales are going to do? They're going to get men behind the ball. They're going to try and keep it tight, and then they're going to try to, maybe get us on a set piece, which has been a bit of an Achilles heel for England, hasn't it, in recent years? So. I'm sure that's what Wales will do. That's definitely how they're going to set up the game. They can't afford to be too open. They're not going to, although they have to win, I don't think they're going to come and take the game to us, because we'll just be able to pick them off, and they know that. So I think it's going to be quite a cagey game. I think Wales will, Wales will be up for this game. There's no doubt about that, and they'll make it difficult for us. But our quality in the end should see us through. Should get us the 3 points, and that would obviously win us the group. But it's not going to be easy. The Wales team, most of their players are playing in the Premier League. You've got Danny Ward and Nico Williams at Nottingham Forest. Chris Metham and Kiefer Moore at Bournemouth. Daniel James is at Fulham. Ben Davies, of course, at Tottenham, as we know. You've got Joe Allen, who plays for Swansea, so he's not in the Premier League. And then you've got obviously Gareth Bale, who plays in America. And you've got Joe Rodden, who of course plays in France for Rennes. So, and of course Aaron Ramsey, who plays in France as well for Nice. So it's a bit of a mixed match team, isn't it, for Wales in some ways? Obviously it's not the top quality, the top level players that England have got. All top Premier League players, aren't they? Apart from Jude Bellingham, of course, who plays in Germany. But so it's. On paper, England should win, but then on paper, England should have beaten America, and we didn't. So you can't really. The game isn't played on paper, is it? It's played on grass, and we've got to turn up tonight. The teams are just coming out. England are technically the away team tonight, just because of the way that the draw has gone. So it's kind of Wales against England, but we're going to call it England against Wales, because that's the way it is. So Wales are in their home shirt, of course, red with green trim and white shorts. And I think England are in the blue kit, actually. I'm not 100% sure, because they've got tracksuits on them, blue tracksuits. I'm not really sure what kit they've got underneath that, but we'll find out soon enough. They may well be in a white kit, because, it's not going to clash with Wales red, is it? But the team's just coming out. So we are going to have the national anthems now, of course. The Welsh national anthem is one of their most popular ones, isn't it? They do like to belt it out as well, the Welsh, don't they? Personally, I've got nothing against Wales particularly. It's a nice country. We was there 2 months ago on holiday for a week, and it was lovely. So I've got nothing against Wales in particular, but obviously tonight we want them to lose, and we want us to go through. yes, I suppose if there was a way of getting both teams through, which there is, Wales would have to win, and then the other game would have to be a draw, and then we would come first and Wales would come second. But we don't want to lose to Wales, do we? Let's be honest. But yeah, I've got nothing against Wales in particular. Aaron Ramsey, of course, great to see him playing again. Since he left Arsenal, his career's been a bit hit and miss. But he's still a good player. He's still got quality. He's one of them players who'll make them runs, won't he, into the box, get on the end of things and get goals still. And of course, Gareth Bale, yes, he's past his best. Of course he is. He's nowhere near the level he was when he was at Real Madrid a few years ago, winning Champions League and all that kind of stuff. But he's got quality as well, hasn't he? Especially from set pieces and free kicks. But this is the biggest game that Wales have played, probably in their history, actually. It's only their second ever World Cup. They did reach the quarterfinals last time. They lost to Brazil, of course, but certainly since then, this is the biggest game in Welsh football history, isn't it? And it's against England. So what better team for them to have to beat to go through? I mean, it would be an incredible result for them. For England, of course, it's, we should be, these are the sort of team that we should be beating. We saw the group when it was drawn and we all knew that we should be favourites to go through. And yes, even if we lost, there's still a big chance we would still go through. But, we want to, it's important to put that America performance behind us, isn't it? Because that was so poor. And it's so important that we show, that wasn't really what we're going to be able to produce. We know how difficult this World Cup's going to be once we get to the knockout stage. And we need to play a lot better. And I'm sure we will today. I'm sure we'll play better than we did against America. And hopefully we should have too much for this Welsh team of a kind of mid-range Premier League players, really, aren't they? Let's be honest. So we should be able to get the result. But, we're going to have to play well. And if we do that, I'm sure we will win. But let's see what happens. It's going to be a big game, this, isn't it, in this World Cup? A local derby, isn't it? England against Wales. We've actually played Wales 103 times in history, actually. We've won 68. There's been 21 draws and Wales have won 14. Now, we've won the last 6 meetings with Wales, all of the last 6. And that goes back since 1984 when they beat us 1-0 in the last of the home international championships, if you remember that. We've only lost 3 of the last 37 meetings with Wales. We've won 24 and drawn 10. So, it's going to take a big effort, isn't it, for Wales to get a result in this game tonight. And I'm sure England will be up for the task. Our biggest win against Wales, incidentally, is 9-1, which was in March 1896. There you go. And Wales' biggest win against England was 4-1. That was in May 1980. I remember that game, actually. I think it was at Wrexham's racecourse ground, from what I remember. That was a really poor England performance, actually. So that is basically that then. And we're getting ready now for the kick-off. We've had the national anthems. The 2 captains, Gareth Bale and Harry Kane, are exchanging the pendants, of course, as they do. The referees from Slovenia, as indeed are the 2 linesmen. Actually, a lineswoman, one of them is, or is she the 4th official? I'm not sure. But anyway, there is a female official here in this game tonight as well. So let's see how this goes. Hopefully, there won't be too much VAR nonsense to worry about. There is obviously VAR. There's a German in the VAR. There's an Italian, a Pole, another German as well. So that's the VAR situation. Let's hope that they don't have to get involved too much in this game tonight. So we'll just run through the England lineup. Then the 4 changes from the America game is Jordan Pickford in goal. The back 4 is Kyle Walker, John Stones, Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw. The 3 in midfield, Jordan Henderson comes in alongside Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham. And then the 3 up front, Phil Foden, Harry Kane and Marcus Rashford. So, yeah, Rashford and Foden coming in the attack. So it's going to be, that's the England lineup for you then. For Wales, then they line up like this. It's Danny Ward in goal, of course, because Hennessy's is suspended. They're back for Nico Williams, Chris Metham, Joe Rodden and Ben Davis. Their 3 in midfield is Ethan Ampadu, Joe Allen and Aaron Ramsey. And then the 3 up front, Gareth Bale and Daniel James. And they're either side of Kiefer Moore, of course, the big Bournemouth striker who's going to cause us problems, isn't he? Especially from set pieces. And that's going to be something we're going to have to watch out for. So all eyes are going to be on Phil Foden, of course, tonight. His first start in the World Cup, his first appearance in this World Cup. And big things are expected from him in this game. He would, a lot of people were saying he should have played against America or certainly should have come on. And Gareth Southgate obviously decided to save him for this game, was it? Or is it just bowed down to media pressure? It's going to be Wales to kick off in the red. England are in the white shirts, dark blue shorts and white socks. Wales are in red shirts, white shorts and red socks. And it is going to be Aaron Ramsey to take kickoff actually in this game here in Qatar, the final group games of this round. And I say the winners of this group will play Senegal, and the runners up in this group will play Holland. So, of course, Iran and America playing as well at the same time. Of course, all the final group games happen at the same time these days after a few incidents in previous World Cups. As we've talked about on this channel in recent weeks, of course, looking back at some of the previous World Cups. It is a throw to Wales over on that far side, their left. Wales are attacking the goal to our right in this first half. And that throw there from Ben Davies up the line. But it's going to fall to John Stones, who goes long towards halfway looking for Harry Kane. But it's going to be Joe Rodden's going to let that ball run out of play. And it's going to be a throw to Wales again, just inside their own half over on that far side again. Their left-hand side thrown into Aaron Ramsey. And that ball comes back again to Ben Davies. But it wasn't a great header actually from Ramsey. And England picked the ball up over on that far side, looking to try to get a grip of this game. But again, it's gone out of play. It's going to be another throw to Wales. There's not really any pattern yet. We've played a minute, and so far England have really not got strung two passes together. And Wales have got another throw over on that far side. Again, Ben Davies throws it long up the line. It's an England head. John Stones it was. But Wales again have picked up the ball in midfield. They've made a fairly lively start here, the Welsh. Of course, they have to win, remember, tonight, or they're out. Even a win might not be enough, depending on the result of the other game. But they know they have to win to have any chance of going through. So they know they're going to have to come forward. They're going to have to take a few risks, and they need to score a goal, obviously. Anyway, John Stones in possession for England over on that far side. Does well, finds Kyle Walker. He plays it square to Harry Maguire. Had a good game against America, didn't he, Harry Maguire? A lot of criticism, obviously. We know he's not getting a regular game at Man United, but he did play well against America. Very, very solid and strong. And he's going to be important tonight, and especially from set pieces. I'll say that's where Wales are going to fancy their chances of causing us problems, isn't it? From set pieces, getting balls into the box and that kind of thing. So we'll see how that goes. Jordan Henderson in possession for England over on that far side. I think he's in just to give us a little bit more control in midfield, because we lacked that, didn't we, against America, really. They dominated that midfield in that game. England coming forward now on this near side. Luke Shaw exchanges passes with Marcus Rashford, who started on the left, actually, in this opening, 2.5 minutes or so that we've played. And it is Foden's actually over on that right hand side. He hasn't touched the ball yet, Phil Foden, actually. But the ball hasn't gone over to that side of the pitch, that's why. Anyway, Jude Bellingham now has picked the ball up very deep for England, plays it square across the pitch to John Stones, Manchester City defender, brings the ball over halfway, plays it forward to Jordan Henderson, lays it off to that far side to Foden. He's got a touch now. Plays a left-footed pass back to John Stones. Now it's inside at the centre circle with Declan Rice. It's with Luke Shaw. This is the first time England really had any possession in this game so far. Marcus Rashford now cuts in from that far side. Tried to get it back to Luke Shaw. In fact, he's run again for Rashford, but it's Wales defender there gets in the way of that. It was Chris Metham, the Bournemouth defender there, just got a foot in to stop that run from Marcus Rashford just inside the penalty area. The ball's now back with Harry Kane for England. Goes long, or attempts to go long. It's charged down actually by Aaron Ramsey. But Jude Bellingham wins that header, and now it's picked up by Marcus Rashford on this near side. England's left. We've played 3.5 minutes here. It is still England 0, Wales 0. And England just starting to settle down now with a bit of possession. John Stones are in halfway, plays it into the centre circle to Declan Rice. Plays it out to this near side. Luke Shaw in possession for England. The Manchester United left back finds his Manchester United teammate Marcus Rashford, and it's back with Harry Maguire, another Manchester United player, with John Stones, of course, from Manchester City. There's a lot of Northwest involvement in this game, isn't there? Players who play their football in the Northwest of England. Of course, Jordan Pickford at Everton. All the back four are playing Manchester. You've got Henderson from Liverpool. And of course, you've got Foden and Rashford as well from Manchester in the front three. So it's a very Northwest-based England starting 11, certainly, isn't it? Not many players who play in London, just Declan Rice, of course, at West Ham, and Harry Kane at Tottenham. That's it in the starting 11. And there's a couple of Arsenal players on the bench. No Ben White on the bench, actually. I don't know if he's injured or what's happened to Ben White, because he's not even on the bench. Usually it's you're only not on the bench in these games if you're injured, isn't it? Because the whole squad is either in the 11 or on the bench. So I'm not sure what's up with Ben White, but anyway, he's not on the bench tonight. Not that he would have played anyway. We played 4.5 minutes, very, very scrappy start to this game. Wales have got a throw on his near side. Nico Williams with it. Nottingham Forest fullback, of course, former Liverpool man, isn't he? Nico Williams throws that ball in to midfield to Gareth Bale, but it goes straight back out again. It's going to be a throw to England this time on this near side, which Marcus Rashford is going to take. Loose touch there from Gareth Bale, actually. But he's still going to be the danger man, isn't he? Although he's past his best, I think we all know that, but he is definitely going to be the danger man. But Wales have picked up the ball again. Joe Allen, it was, tried to play it forward to Aaron Ramsey, but the pass was a little bit overhit. The ball bounced off Ramsey, but Wales have picked it up again. Ramsey again in midfield, but Declan Rice takes the ball off him. But in fact, the referee has given a free kick to Wales just outside the centre circle. It was a foul, I think, on Joe Allen, former Liverpool player, of course, now back at Swansea, where he made his name, didn't he, in the first place. Joe Allen, very experienced player he is, isn't he, for Wales. Danny Ward with that long kick, though, the goalkeeper. Harry Maguire comes to get it with a header. He doesn't really get much on it, actually, but England do pick the ball up with Declan Rice. He goes back to Luke Shaw, and now Jude Bellingham plays the ball forward to Marcus Rashford. England have had a lot more possession in these opening 6 minutes, but not really created anything at all yet. They haven't put the Welsh defence under any pressure. And my worry is, because we only need a draw, that Gareth Southgate will probably come for a draw, because that's what he tends to do, doesn't he? Anyway, Harry Maguire now in possession for England, plays it to this near side to Luke Shaw again. A little bit of a loose touch from Shaw, but he manages to get the ball back to Harry Maguire. And England just calming the play down. Wales have yet to really threaten at all so far in this game. England coming forward again. Rashford up this near side, but that's a poor touch from Rashford, actually. It's been very sloppy to start of this game. Players from both teams have had loose touches, and it's now a free kick to Wales. Declan Rice, it was, went into the back there of Aaron Ramsey, who's going to take this free kick, plays it short to Nico Williams on this near side. He plays it back into midfield to Ethan Ampadu, now playing in Italy for Spezia. Of course, he did used to play for Chelsea, didn't he, Ethan Ampadu, at one time? And of course, his dad, he used to play for Arsenal, didn't he? Kwame Ampadu, of course, player from back in the day. If you remember him, he didn't really play much for the first team, did he? A couple of appearances, I think. Terry says, evening, Richard, let's hope it's a better game tonight than both sides produced in their last game. No, you're right. Let's hope so. Still haven't forgiven you for making me watch that last game, but we'll need to give you another chance. Well, let's hope that England produce a better performance tonight. That last game was very, 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 very boring, wasn't it? As we know. But anyway, let's hope this one might be a little bit better. The early signs aren't great, I've got to be honest. So far, we've played 7.5 minutes. Nothing's really happened. England have had more possession, but don't really look as though we're likely to do much with it. And Wales, as I kind of maybe anticipated anyway, they're quite happy to maybe sit back and look to maybe catch us on the counter-attack or try and win a set piece high up the pitch and create something from that. But anyway, so far, they haven't really done too much. But they are in possession now in midfield with Daniel James, plays it square to Chris Metham, plays out this near side. Nico Williams does well to keep it in, actually. It was fired at him, and now Joe Allen. This is now a bit of possession for Wales, actually. Ethan Ampadu in the centre circle brings the ball out to that far side, but it's overhit looking for Daniel James. But that's gone out of play. It's going to be a throw to England over on the far side. Very, very tense it is for the Welsh fans in this stadium, you'd imagine. No, they have to win, and even a win might not be enough. If they only win by 1 goal, for example, they would need Iran and America to draw. So they wouldn't be guaranteed of going through unless they win by 4 goals, which seems very, very unlikely, let's be honest. Stranger things have happened, but their biggest ever win over England, as we said, is 4-1 from 1980. So the history is certainly on our side when it comes to that. But anyway, I'm sure Wales will be just happy to get the win and then hope and pray that that's enough for them. But let's hope England can get the right result. Kyle Walker now back in the side tonight, plays the ball into midfield to Bellingham, but again he's hit it rather too hard. Most of the passing in this game seems to have been overhit. Harry Kane had a bit of chance, plays it through to Rashford. Rashford's in. Oh, good save from Danny Ward, actually. That was the first real big opportunity of the game for England. Harry Kane with a through ball. Marcus Rashford got in behind the Welsh defence, but it was a decent save, actually. Danny Ward came out, made his mind up, kept himself big, and was able to make the save. A good save it was as well from Danny Ward. He's coming for a bit of criticism this season, hasn't he, the Leicester goalkeeper? And obviously, when he came on in their last game against Iran after Hennessy got sent off, he did concede the 2 goals, although it wasn't really his fault. But he made a good save there, actually. That was a good play from England. Harry Kane, a little bit of space just in between the midfield and the attack, and just threaded that ball through to Rashford. And a one-on-one, you maybe felt that was a good chance for Rashford to score. He's normally pretty lethal in those positions, isn't he? But it was a decent save. We need to give the goalkeeper credit for that because he did well. But England still in possession now. Luke Shaw on his near side plays the ball in to Harry Kane. But again, it's a poor ball, actually. The passing in this game from both teams hasn't been great. And Wales just do a poor pass again, looking for Daniel Jones over on that far side. But Kyle Walker's across there. And now Phil Foden's got a chance to run at this Welsh defence. Finds Kyle Walker outside him. Walker goes to put a cross and instead plays it back to the box. Henderson plays it in. Not a great ball. And it's cleared away by Wales. And Kiefer Moore can't get hold of that ball. And England back in possession. It's Harry Kane now inside the centre circle for England. England 0, Wales 0. We've played 10.5 minutes here in Qatar. A draw, of course, does England, puts us through, wins the group. No, it wouldn't necessarily win the group, would it? If Iran win and we draw, then Iran would win the group. And then we would have to play Holland in the next round, which wouldn't be an easy game at all, would it? They've looked quite decent, Holland, actually. Very compact, very, organised, and they've got some quality players as well, haven't they, at the far end of the pitch. Cody Gakpo, of course, been scoring for them. He scored in every group game for Holland. Anyway, John Stones now plays the ball out to that far side. Finds Kyle Walker, gets it back again. John Stones, a Manchester City connection now over on that England right-hand side. John Stones now have a little bit of time. Wales aren't really pressing too high up the pitch here. That ball goes in to midfield. Now it's with Harry Maguire again. Finds Rashford on this near side. Definitely Rashford is staying over on his left-hand side and Foden on the right. Maybe expecting the other way around perhaps. But anyway, that's a long ball there over to that far side looking for Kyle Walker, but it was cut out well by Ben Davies. But Henderson picks it up and it goes all the way back to goalkeeper Jordan Pickford. You have to say the quality in this game so far has been really, really poor. It's almost like I wouldn't even say it's like a mid-table Premier League game. It's just really poor quality. The passing has been terrible. I don't know if the pitch is that good, actually. I don't know if that's maybe, not that should be an excuse. These are professional footballers, but the passing has been terrible from both teams. The touch on the ball hasn't been great, and it's been very, very scrappy. But Wales now in possession in midfield with Joe Allen, lays it off to Chris Metham, the Bournemouth defender, gets it back again. Joe Allen gives it back to Metham again. Plays up this near side to Nico Williams, a ball over the top there, looking for the run of Gareth Bale, but it wasn't going to reach him, and it's got all the way through to Jordan Pickford. Another pass didn't find its anticipated target. The ball is now back with Pickford. You've got the England fans behind that goal there, away to our right, where Pickford is in at this moment in time. Harry Maguire plays the ball square to John Stones. Again, it's quite slow and cumbersome from England, as it was against America. We're looking for a spark, some kind of, I don't know, some sort of bit of life in this team from somewhere, but so far we're not getting it. Kyle Walker over on that far side pings the ball to this near side. That's a good ball actually to Luke Shaw. Nice control on his chest. Luke Shaw brings it forward, tries to play it out to Rashford. It's cut out by Nico Williams, but it was by his hand, and the referee has given, in fact, I don't think it was his hand. It looked like it may have hit him on the side. Anyway, it was given as a free kick. They're just showing the Marcus Rashford chance again. The goalkeeper was out quickly, actually. It was a good ball from Harry Kane. Put Rashford in, but the goalkeeper was out so quickly he couldn't quite get enough time to adjust his body to flick it over the keeper. It was a good save. Anyway, England got a free kick now on this near side. It's about 15 yards in from this near touchline, about midway inside at the Wales half. Luke Shaw looks like he's going to be taking this. Everybody's lined up just on the edge of the penalty area. Let's see if we can get an opportunity here. Rashford's over this as well. I think it's going to be Luke Shaw to take it. In fact, it is. Rashford walked away. Bellingham's in there. He did score, of course, a header, didn't he, against Iran, the opening goal in that game. We'll be looking to maybe get another one here. Luke Shaw with the free kick towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away by Kiefer Moore, but only as far as Phil Foden tries a shot from about 20 yards. It goes wide of that near post. At least he was prepared to have a shot there, Phil Foden. Nice touch, got the ball down and then low shot, but it was always going away from the goal with his left foot. Dragged it wide of that near post, and it's going to be a goal kick to Wales. We played 14.5 minutes. It is England 0, Wales 0. A game of very, very few chances so far. In fact, no real chances at all from either team. That was the nearest that we came was that Rashford effort, which was well saved from Danny Ward. And that's pretty much it really for clear opportunities from either side. So let's see what happens in the rest of this game, because Wales need to win. Remember, that's a poor kick actually from Danny Ward. He's gone out for a throw to England. He's looking down at the pitch. I don't know whether the pitch is causing a few issues, because I'd say the passing's been off from pretty much everybody. Anyway, Luke Shaw now in possession. It was his free kick just a moment ago that led to that effort from Foden, which he dragged wide. Jude Bellingham now in midfield for England, pings it over to that far side of space out there for Phil Foden. Nice touch on his left foot, plays the ball up the line, looking for the run there of Jordan Henderson. It's gone out for a throw there off Ethan Ampadu. I keep going to call him Kwame Ampadu. That's his dad, of course, former Arsenal player, as I said. It is a throw to England over on that far side, which Kyle Walker takes, throws it into Foden. That's nice from Phil Foden. Gets into the Wales penalty area. He plays the ball back to Jordan Henderson. Now it goes back to Walker again. Not a great ball, but it does find Rice. And now it's back with John Stones. And although England had a lot of possession there, we've gone backwards rather than really trying to get in behind that Wales defence. Luke Shaw now on this near side. It's still very slow and cumbersome from England. Not really showing any urgency so far. Harry Maguire now on halfway, plays it square to John Stones again. John Stones brings the ball forward a couple of yards. Still inside the centre circle, goes back again to Harry Kane. We kind of know that Wales are going to make it difficult for us in terms of, the defending deep. But anyway, England need to be better than we have been so far. That ball played forward, looking for Harry Kane, but it was well defended. But Luke Shaw comes forward again. Harry Kane again is fouled by Chris Metham. It is going to be another free kick to England. This one a lot closer to the penalty area. It's about, 10 yards outside the area, just slightly over to this left-hand side. A little bit clumsy there from Metham. Went through the back there of Harry Kane. Didn't maybe need to do that, did he? And it's an opportunity now for England. This is within shooting range, this actually, you would say. It's about 10 yards outside the penalty area. It's kind of Kieran Trippier territory, isn't it? But he's not playing in this game. He's on the bench. So he's not going to be able to take this one. Marcus Rashford standing over it at the moment. Phil Foden kind of wants to get involved. Declan Rice as well. We don't really seem to have any free kick experts, do we, in this team? I say that the best one is on the bench. Kieran Trippier would have probably fancied this with his right foot, whipping it over that wall. But anyway, let's see what we can do from this. Jordan Henderson is speaking to the players around him there, just trying to organise what we're going to do. Declan Rice, Phil Foden and Luke Shaw, it seems to be. I've got a feeling Luke Shaw might end up taking this, with his left foot, trying to curl it over that wall, over to the opposite side of where goalkeeper Danny Ward is. Declan Rice is maybe lining up, thinking about it as well. Seem to remember him scoring a free kick for West Ham actually last season against somebody or other. So he can certainly take them as well, but not really sure who's going to take it. Henderson and Foden are just standing in front of the ball at the moment as like a shield to prevent the wall from seeing what's going on. I think it might well be Luke Shaw, that's going to take it with his left foot. In fact, it is taken. Luke Shaw dinks it into the far post. Header comes in from Harry Maguire and it's gone behind for a goal kick. Harry Maguire claims it came off a Welsh defender. I'm not sure if it did. It was played over to the far post. It may well have done, actually. But anyway, it is given as a goal kick. In fact, I think it was. I think it was headed by, not sure who that was at the far post there for Wales. Oh, it was Ethan Ampadu. And it maybe did come off the back of Ampadu's head. But anyway, it's been given as a goal kick to Wales, which Danny Wall's going to take. Let's hope for his sake it's a better one than the previous one that went straight out for a throw. This one, again, it curls to that left-hand side, but it's going to stay in. And in fact, Kiefer Moore wins a header. He's going to win a lot of headers. He's very, very dangerous in the air, isn't he? Kiefer Moore, the Bournemouth centre forward, is going to be a throw now to Wales. We played 18, nearly 19 minutes here in Doha. It is Wales 0, England 0. And it's a throw there for Wales taken by Ben Davies. First, it goes back to Daniel James, who's put under pressure, actually. That was a bit of a risky back pass to Danny Wall, but he's done well, controlled it on his chest, and then kicks it out of his near side, looking for Nico Williams. A good header, actually, from Luke Shaw, but Chris Metham steps in. He's flicked on very, very scrappy this game. Terry says this game's being played at walking pace. There's no excitement and need to speed things up a bit. No, you're right. It's very, very pedestrian. And it's, Wales aren't really helping because they're not really looking to play any football, are they? But England just need to move the ball quicker. You're right. It has been very, very slow. And it is at walking pace, really, which is very, very poor. But anyway, we've played only 20 minutes as well. So almost halfway through this first half, there's just been that one big chance for Marcus Rashford at one-on-one with Danny Ward. He's done well, actually, the Leicester goalkeeper. Sorry, not in the Forest. Is it not in the Forest now, Danny Ward? I thought he was at Leicester anyway. I've got not in the Forest on my sheet. I don't know where that's come from. But anyway, it's a goal kick taken there by Jordan Pickford. Wales picked the ball up there in midfield, but not for long. It's headed on there by John Stones. It's going to fall to Foden over on that far side, but it's just cleared away, actually, by Wales. And Kiefer Moore now battling away for the ball with Kyle Walker, and then he fails Kyle Walker. And it is going to be a free kick to England. Kiefer Moore, a little bit too over keen there to try and win the ball. He was never going to get it. And he's gone through the back again of Kyle Walker. It's going to be a free kick to England, as we've played 20 and a half minutes of free kicks over on that far side. England's right. I mean, Wales will be reasonably happy so far. They've restricted England to just that one chance, and they've looked comfortable in this game. It's not like we've kind of caused them problems, putting them under pressure and getting loads of chances. We're not. That's not how the game's gone. But anyway, let's see what England can do now. Rashford on this near side tries to turn away from Williams. He finds Declan Rice inside the centre circle. He's just a bit better from England than this Foden. Just plays it out to that far side. Kyle Walker could have maybe put a cross in, but only really Harry Kane in the box. Goes back to Henderson, gets it back again. Kyle Walker looking for some movement ahead of him. Instead, he has to go back again to John Stones. Now it's square to Harry Maguire. He's good from England. He's played out to this near side now. Luke Shaw, Declan Rice again goes past one challenge, finds Shaw again, gets the return. Plays it inside to Marcus Rashford, but that's not a great ball. But Luke Shaw does pick it up. He's got a chance to cross it. He does cross it to the far post. There's a bit of space for Jordan Henderson, but the ball bounced up over his head. He has managed to keep it in, though. We keep the attack going. Kyle Walker now plays it square to Declan Rice. Opportunity maybe for a shot from distance from Rice. He doesn't take the opportunity. Instead, he fires Henderson, drills a low cross into the edge of the 6-yard box. Cleared away by Chris Metham. And it's going to be a throw to England. But yeah, Jordan Henderson, it just bounced over him actually as he was looking to control it. That was the best opportunity maybe of that particular attack. But it's a throw to England over on that far side. Kyle Walker gets the ball back off Jordan Henderson. And then it's a foul on Henderson actually from Ben Davies, I think it was. And it is going to be a free kick now to England. In fact, it was Ben Davies, a Tottenham man, with that foul there on Jordan Henderson. And it is going to be a free kick. Again, Wales a little bit too enthusiastic to win the ball, giving away a few too many free kicks. This is a dangerous opportunity for England over on that far side. It's about 15 yards in from the far corner flag and about 2 yards in from the touchline. So it's a good opportunity to get a dangerous ball in towards the edge of that 6-yard box. Try and put Danny Ward under a bit of pressure and see how he copes. The free kick comes in from Henderson to the edge of the 6-yard box. Oh, it beats everybody. Harry Maguire couldn't get it. It's going to be kept in though on this near side by Marcus Rashford. Running at Joe Allen, cuts inside. Rashford tries a shot. It hits the defender, Nico Williams. In fact, he's gone down. Williams hit him on the head. And he's gone down. I'm sure he's going to be okay. But obviously, when it's a head injury, he can't be too careful. He had to stoop down to try and get in the way of that. He's gone down injured now. There's going to be a little bit of a break now while he gets some treatment. And Nico Williams, Terry says there, this game's so exciting. Mrs. B is doing housework, says it all. She's actually making her tea. She just got in. So she's just making her tea before she'll probably be ready to watch the second half, hopefully. But anyway, there's no action at the moment because Nico Williams is just getting some treatment for that facial injury where the ball hit him there, got in the way of that shot from Marcus Rashford. Certainly got a lot of power behind it. And that will be a sore one for Williams, the Nottingham Forest fullback. But yeah, it was not really too much happening at the moment in this game. Just I say that one opportunity for Rashford. He tried to lift it over Danny Wall, but I say that's a decent save. You have to give the goalkeeper credit for that. It was a good save. But Rashford knows that was a big chance. And you do feel as though if England can score first, take the lead, then it's probably going to be all over for Wales, isn't it? Wales to have any chance of getting through, they're going to have to go in front in this game, aren't they? But anyway, we'll see. At the moment, Williams is just getting back to his feet again inside the Wales penalty area following that that injury. Looks like he's going to be okay to continue. And he's going to have to go off, obviously, now having received treatment. So we'll see what whether he's going to be okay. It looks like he will be. It wasn't a concussion, so he doesn't have to go off. The ball just hit him in the face. So probably he's probably going to be okay. Anyway, we are going to resume with a drop ball round about the centre circle, which is England had possession, so he's just dropped it to Declan Rice, the referee. And we carry on with England attacking over on that far side with Phil Foden looking to get it onto his left foot. Plays it inside to Kyle Walker, gets it back again. Foden plays it forward to Jordan Henderson and gets it back again. Phil Foden, now he finds Kyle Walker. England worked this quite well over on that far side, little triangles, but not really going anywhere with it. John Stones now finds Harry Maguire. Finds Shaw on this near side. Now it's with Rashford. Marcus Rashford tries to go around the outside of Chris Metham, but he does well, the Bournemouth defender. And then Nico Williams is back on now, plays that ball up the line, looking for Kiefer Moore, but he can't get it under control. And it's gone out for a throw. It was a difficult ball to try and control anyway, but it's bounced off his foot and it's gone behind for a throw to England. Just on halfway on his near side. Luke Shaw now put under pressure there from Aaron Ramsey. It's going to be another throw to England again, just in front of the dugouts on this near side. England 0, Wales 0. We've played 26 minutes. It's been a very, very slow, cumbersome 20 minutes as well, you have to say. Very similar to the America game, only Wales aren't playing as well as America did. By this point in the game, America were getting on top, wasn't they, on Friday? Wales aren't really. But anyway, England are attacking down that far side. Ben Davies comes across, he's fouled actually by a combination of Phil Foden and Jordan and Jude Bellingham. In fact, it was Phil Foden there, just caught the back of Ben Davies's heel, and it's going to be a free kick to Wales over on that far side, which goalkeeper Danny Wall's going to go over and take. Can England find a way to win this game? We're going to have to produce a little bit better quality in that final third if we are, because so far just that one opportunity, the Marcus Rashford chance, and that's it. Now Wales coming forward now, looking for the head of Kiefer Moore, but it was a good defensive header actually from John Stones, but Wales have picked up the ball over on that far side with Ben Davies, but it's gone out off Phil Foden. It's going to be a throw to Wales on halfway, which Ben Davies is going to take again for the Welsh. We have to win this game, remember, and then hope the other game's a draw, which it still is at the moment. But obviously, Wales are not in front in this game. It's gone out for a throw over on that far side. Ben Davies again is going to take it. Throws it infield. Nice touch there, actually, from Kiefer Moore. It's done well, actually, Kiefer Moore. Held the ball up well. That's what he's going to have to do for Wales. But in the end, he's crowded out by 3 England defenders. And now England can launch a counter-attack with Harry Kane. But he didn't seem to... He took too long there, Harry Kane, to decide what to do with the ball. He's lost it. And now Nico Williams is charging forward over on this near side for Wales. And he's been fouled by Jordan Henderson. And that might well be the game's first yellow card. In fact, it isn't. The referee isn't going to get his yellow card out quite yet. The Serbian referee, Jordan Henderson. That's a sensible foul in many ways, just on halfway to stop that counter-attack. It was Ramsey's foul there on Harry Kane. A bit of Arsenal-Tottenham rivalry there, I think you could see in Aaron Ramsey's face. And he did win the ball well, actually. I think the referee let that play go on. It wasn't a foul. He won the ball, Aaron Ramsey. But in the end, England did continue that attack. There's been another foul by, I think it might have been Daniel James over on that far side on John Stones. That's a bit of a Manchester rivalry there, isn't it? Daniel James, former Manchester United player. And in fact, that is the first yellow card for Daniel James, actually. Jordan Henderson maybe got away with one just a few minutes ago, but the referee's patience has gone now. There's been quite a lot of fouls in this game, more fouls than anything else, actually, you have to say, in this opening 29 minutes. And at the latest one there from James, he was a little bit late there on John Stones, sort of trod on his foot. Is that really a yellow card? I'm not sure if it is when you look at some of the other fouls that's gone on so far in this game. But anyway, the first yellow card of the game goes to Daniel James of Wales, and England have a free kick over on the far side, which Kyle Walker He's going to go square to John Stones, gets it back. Kyle Walker, now he finds Harry Maguire. This is what England have done a lot of in this game, as we did against America. A lot of sideways, backwards passing, but not really going forward and looking a threat in the final third. Anyway, the ball goes out to that far side. It's not a great ball, actually. Phil Foden does manage to keep it in. Jordan Henderson, manages to keep it in, but England do lose possession, and now Wales can try and get the ball forward themselves over on that far side. Daniel James battling away there with Kyle Walker, but Jude Bellingham steps in. A little bit of composure, then just knocks the ball out to Henderson, and now England back in possession. But again, very scrappy this game. Very, very scrappy from both teams, it has to be said. England have had a lot more possession, but some of our passes not been great. And Wales have been really poor, actually, so far, it has to be said. Anyway, Rashford tries to get away from Metham, who's in again with a good tackle, but England pick the ball up now. Declan Rice, midway inside the Wales half, tries to play it to that far side. Foden, he's done a last little 1-2 there with Henderson. Foden's in possession again. Phil Foden gets it back to Jordan Henderson. Now Kyle Walker, can he get across? No, he goes back to Declan Rice again. Square ball. England coming forward over on that far side still with Phil Foden. Now it's with Declan Rice, square to Harry Maguire. England keeping possession, but again, not really going forward too much. Now Maguire steps forward, actually. He's gone inside the penalty area. Harry Maguire, I don't know if that was a cross or a shot, but it's in the end, it's neither. And it's gone out for a throw over on that far side. Harry Maguire there. For a brief moment there, he thought he was a centre forward, got himself into the penalty area, and then with his left foot, pinged the ball across the box. I'm not sure if it was meant to be a shot or a cross. And in the end, it's gone out for a throw over on that far side. That kind of sums up this first half in many ways, lacking any real guile or quality. And it is a throw to Wales, which Ben Davies takes. Goes long up the line. But again, it's a bit scrappy. England pick the ball up. Jude Bellingham lets it run onto Marcus Rashford. But Wales are there again with Joe Rodden with that clearance. And that ball played over the top. He's just going to run all the way through to Danny Ward. Very, very poor game again from England. Terry says there, Maguire showing his attacking prowess. Well, he did to get there, didn't he? And then when he actually had to make a decision whether to shoot or to cross, he couldn't make his mind up, could he? And in the end, it was a little bit of neither. But it was a very ambitious run anyway from Harry Maguire. At least he was looking to get the ball forward and take someone on and try to make something happen, because we've been lacking that all the way through the team so far. Anyway, England in possession again now with Maguire. This time he just plays a simple ball to Luke Shaw. Plays it on to Marcus Rashford. It's back with Luke Shaw again. Now it's back with Maguire. It's probably going to go back to goalkeeper Jordan Henderson. If it had to, Jordan Pickford, and it does. Pickford all in yellow, just comes out of his area and finds John Stones. England looking like we're lacking ideas, lacking fluency, and it's very, very poor again from England. But if it stays like this, England will qualify, potentially win the group, but very, very far from convincing. Luke Shaw looks to go on a run forward there. Marcus Rashford tried to find him, but the ball was cut out by Nico Williams. In fact, Wales just giving it away. Ramsey was in midfield, tried to find Ethan Ampadu, but the pass wasn't great, and England picked up possession again. Declan Rice plays it out to that far side to Kyle Walker, lines up across, puts a cross into the edge of the 6-yard box, headed out there by Chris Metham. It's going to be a throw to England. That was poor from Aaron Ramsey, actually. Got into a little bit of miscommunication there with Ampadu in the midfield. England picked the ball up and very, very easily, and cross came in. A good cross, actually, from Kyle Walker. It has to be said, from that far side. But it was a decent header from Chris Metham, who's actually defended well so far for Wales, the Bournemouth man. There's another injury, actually, to Nico Williams again. I wonder if that's still the after effect of that earlier facial injury that he got. Is his game going to be up very, very shortly? He's played well, actually, Nico Williams, for Wales. That'll be a big loss for them. But he's back down again, getting some treatment, having a drink. Let's see if he's going to be able to recover. There's a couple of players fancy coming on for him. In fact, the other Williams. In fact, they're going to be making the substitution. It's going to be Connor Roberts coming on, who actually plays for Barnsley in the Championship. Connor Roberts at the World Cup. And it looks as though it is maybe it is a concussion from that earlier effort, actually, that hit him right in the face. He's gone down again, and I do think Nico Williams is going to have to come off for Wales. So if it is a concussion injury, then obviously they can make an extra substitution, can't they? And it looks as though it is going to be Connor Roberts coming on. for Nico Williams. And that's a blow for Wales, actually, because he's played well, Nico Williams. He's got a lot of experience in the Premier League. He's a good player, and they're bringing on a guy who plays in the Championship for Barnsley. So that just goes to show, doesn't it, the strength or lack of strength in Wales' squad. I mean, Nico Williams, they're giving him plenty of time to try to see if he can continue. I mean, obviously, this injury is nowhere near the sort of injury that the Iran goalkeeper had the other week, but obviously, with facial head injuries, you've got to be careful, haven't you? I think he wants to play on. He definitely wants to play on, but he's looking across at the bench a little bit anxiously. He definitely wants to stay on, obviously, Williams, but I think the substitution is ready. Are they going to give him a little bit longer or not? He's not moving too freely, and I do think his day is gone. His game is over, Nico Williams. He looks very, very disappointed. And I say it's a shame for Wales because he's been playing well, actually. He's been one of their better players in this opening 35 minutes. But he's having to go off now. Nico Williams, he's going to be replaced by Connor Roberts. And he's looking very down in the dumps. Probably the end of his World Cup, actually, isn't it now? Unless Wales pull off this shock. His World Cup is over for the Nottingham Forest left back. And it is going to be right back. Sorry, it's going to be, Roberts coming on. So let's see if there's maybe something England can exploit now down this near side. England's left potentially. That long throw comes in from Kyle Walker. It's headed out actually by Ben Davies. I think a mixture of Ben Davies and Ethan Ampadu. And actually, it was Kiefer Moore. Doing his defensive duties for the team. It was actually Ben Davies who actually collided with his own player there. That'll be a painful one for Kiefer Moore as well, actually. Anyway, he's fine. He's made of tough stuff, isn't he, Kiefer Moore? And it is now going to be a free kick, actually, to Wales, which is a bit of a strange one. It was his own player that committed the foul. Anyway, Danny Wall takes a free kick deep into the England half over on that far side. It's flicked on by Moore, actually. He tried to get the ball back again. Now it's with Daniel James, plays it into Aaron Ramsey. Kiefer Moore now. Surely he was fouled in the end of the box. Does he know? Declan Rice got away with that one, and England now can launch a counter-attack. That was the first moment that really Wales have shown anything here, actually. Terry says there, he looks absolutely gutted. He was playing well. Shane really feels sorry for him. Yeah, I do as well. He was playing well. And he did look gutted to have to go off, but head injuries are what they are nowadays. You can't take a risk. Anyway, Foden's just fired one over for England on that counter-attack. It was nice play, actually. It was Bellingham in the box. A shot on the turn from Foden. It may well have just took a nick off the Wales defender, actually. Rodden. I'm not sure if it did. Anyway, it's gone over the top into the Wales fans behind that goal. I think it may well be a goal kick. I don't think it did take a deflection. Shot on the turn from Foden. Couldn't keep it down. And it's going to be a goal kick to Wales. We played 37 minutes. There'll be a little bit of stoppage time at the end of this first half. They think they add on time for anything, don't they? So you're probably looking at 5 or 6 minutes for those 2 stoppages for Williams' injury. But Wales now looking to come forward themselves over on this near side. Roberts, his first contribution. He finds Bale. He did well, actually. Got past Harry Maguire, but he couldn't get past Luke Shaw on the cover. But Wales still coming forward over on that far side. Aaron Ramsey on the edge of the box. Lines it up toward Joe Allen. His shot actually hits Declan Rice. And it falls to Marcus Rashford on this near side coming forward for England. It's a good run from Rashford. Cuts inside, goes past a couple of challenges, keeps possession, finds Declan Rice. Just as Wales looked as though they were going to maybe get their first shot at goal, suddenly the ball's up the other end of the pitch. England on the counter-attack. Foden over on that far side. Tries to find Harry Kane. Not a great ball. Not a great clearance. It falls to Rashford. Overhead kick from Marcus Rashford inside the penalty area. Spectacular effort, but it's gone wide. That was a bit of a poor-headed clearance, actually, from Joe Allen, I think it was. It found Rashford a little bit of space. The only way he could really get a shot on target was to try the overhead. And he got a decent enough connection with it, but it was always going wide. It's another goal kick to Wales. And we've into the last 6 minutes of this first half, plus stoppage time. Very, very poor game overall. It has to be said. England 0, Wales 0. Wales haven't created anything. When you think they've got to win this game, it's not enough for them, is it? A draw is nowhere near enough, so they have to try and find a way to win. Maybe the second half they'll take a few more risks. But England there at the back, nice and calm there from John Stones. And England actually giving the ball away in midfield, but good play in the end actually there from Jordan Henderson to win it back. And now Phil Foden got away from a couple of challenges. Now Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford's got a little bit of space on his near side. Rashford tried to play it back to Kane. It's deflected away by Roberts, the substitute who's just come on. Good positioning there from the fullback. But Foden got a little bit lucky with a rebound initially, but he did well. Harry Kane, took up the ball, found Rashford on his near side, and his cross was heading back towards Harry Kane. But in the end, it was decent defending there from Roberts. Put it behind for a corner. It's going to be Phil Foden to take it. Terry says there, if I can get my mouse to work, he says there, it's very poor. It is very poor, you're right. But I always go back to what I've gone back to before. In 1982, Italy were terrible in the group stage. They drew all 3 games and they went on to win the World Cup. So, maybe there's hope for us yet. But yeah, we would need to get a lot better than this. Anyway, Foden with his corner, out swinger. Harry Kane tries to head it back into the penalty area, but it's a poor clearance actually from Joe Allen. England trying to get forward, but it's gone behind. It's going to be another corner though to England. Getting a little bit of pressure here as we head towards half-time. Ben Davies, it was there, put that ball out. And it's another call. We've had quite a few corners in this game, but we haven't really managed to make anything from them yet. That ball was played forward there. Ben Davies wanted it to run out, but it wouldn't, and he had to end up putting it behind. It is another corner to England over on the far side. Whipped in by Foden. It's edge of the 6-yard box, headed out by Joe Rodin again. It's going to be a throw to England over on that far side. Another corner for England comes to nothing. We are into the last 4 minutes of normal time at the end of this first half. A very, very poor first half, it has to be said, from England. The USA have taken the lead against Iran as well. USA are 1-0 up. So even a Welsh win wouldn't be enough as things stand at this moment in time, because they'd need that game to be a draw. Of course, there's still plenty of time for it to be a draw, but America have taken the lead. And it looks as though America may well be qualifying along with England as things stand, but still a long way to go yet in these 2 games tonight. The conclusion of Group B. Just in case you're aware, in Group A, it was Holland that won the group. Senegal finished second. So the winners of this group will play Senegal, and it's at the moment it's England. We are top above USA on goal difference as things stand, because USA are in the lead, and this game is still 0-0. But I'll say we're just coming up towards half time, so plenty of football still to be played yet in Group B before we know who's going through in which position. But it's looking as though Wales are going out, and you have to say they've not impressed in this World Cup at all. Their only goal was that Gareth Bale penalty against America, and they've really looked like scoring apart from that in the whole of this tournament so far. They've been very poor. Maguire now pings that ball out to the far side, looking for Foden. Can he keep it in? No, he can't. It's gone behind. It's going to be another goal kick to Wales. That ball there was far too over hit from Harry Maguire. Foden couldn't keep it in. And it's another goal kick to Wales as we approach the final couple of minutes of the first half. We'll see how much injury time there's going to be. There'll be a bit, won't there? Because I say those 2 stoppages for Nico Williams' head injury or facial injury that's ended up seeing him have to go off. Anyway, Danny Ward's goal kick goes into the England half, but it's a header there from Luke Shaw against Gareth Bale. England pick the ball up again in midfield with Harry Kane. He's very deep, and he's lost the ball actually. Aaron Ramsey now. Oh no, the referee's given a free kick actually against Daniel James, I think it was. You need to be careful because he's already been booked. It was just as well for England now actually, because there would have been an opportunity perhaps for a counter attack. The ball fell there to Aaron Ramsey in the centre circle, and Wales had a man over briefly. But anyway, the free kick was given. England back in possession now. Declan Rice finds Kyle Walker. And he's found Foden over on that far side, pings it in to Harry Kane. Harry Kane lays it off to Declan Rice, and it's come over to this near side to Luke Shaw. Are England going to find a goal before the break? It's into the box. Jude Bellingham cuts back inside, finds a ball in his box. Harry Kane shots blocked, finds Luke Shaw. Kind of him and Declan Rice got in each other's way, but now it's with Bellingham again on his near side. Does well, Jude Bellingham. Can he get across it? No, he can't, because Roberts is across the substitute again. Good defending for him actually. We were saying that maybe he was going to be a weak link for Wales, but he's actually done well since he's come on. He's another corner to England again over on this near side, and again it's going to be Phil Foden with it. We are into the final minute of the first half. Not sure if there's going to be time for England to take the lead here, but Foden's corner goes out, headed out by Kiefer Moore, headed back in again by Marcus Rashford, but Wales deal with it again. And they've got the ball over on that far side, play it forward, looking for the run there of Daniel James, looking to run in behind, but it was a good header actually from Jude Bellingham. But England back in possession over on the far side. Harry Maguire plays it back again to Kyle Walker. And we are now coming in towards stoppage time at the end of this first half. England 0, Wales 0. Very, very poor from both teams. It has to be said, really, really poor quality of football this has been. I mean, there's been some boring games in this World Cup. That's a terrible ball forward from John Stones straight into the arms of Danny Ward. We're going to see how much stoppage time we're going to be getting. You'd imagine there'll be a bit. 5 minutes is what's come up. Yeah, that's probably about right, isn't it, for those 2 stoppages that we had? So we're going to have 5 minutes more of this before the break. It has been extremely slow, the pace of this game. You'd imagine it would have been more like an English kind of league game, wouldn't you, with England playing Wales? But it's been very, very slow as it was against the USA the other day, and not really any urgency from England. But we're coming forward now. Harry Kane turns well, very deep again. They plays the ball forward to Rashford. That's a poor touch off actually, and Wales now going to have an opportunity for a counter attack, are they? Inside the centre circle there with James is fouled, and I think it was Kyle Walker there came across on James. Those two have had a bit of a battle going on. And it is a free kick inside the centre circle to Wales. Joe Allen takes it, plays it up this near side to Roberts now. Goes back to Chris Metham. Plays it back to Roberts again on this near side for Wales. Big opportunity for him. Plays for Barnsley in his day job, and now he's playing at the World Cup for Wales. So a great moment for him. Anyway, Wales in possession still now. The ball's back with Joe Rodden, and he goes back to goalkeeper Danny Ward. We've played a minute and a half of the 5 of stoppage time. Kyle Walker with that header there forward. And Wales now enjoying one of their longest spells of possession actually in this first half, because they've not had the ball very much, but they've got it now. And it goes back to Danny Ward again there from Connor Roberts. And Ward pings it out to that far side, looking for Ben Davies, but Kyle Walker steps in. But Joe Allen wins that ball for Wales in midfield, looking for some movement ahead of him. Instead, that's a poor pass, actually. He was looking for Aaron Ramsey, but it was cut out by Jordan Henderson. Now Harry Kane is just going to be the moment for England. Finds Jude Bellingham, plays it on to Luke Shaw, plays it back in towards the penalty area. Again, it's good defending by Wales. I think that was Joe Rodden there, just got his foot in the way. But it wasn't a good clearance, actually. Luke Shaw again. Now it's in with Henderson, inside, Harry Kane inside the area. Harry Kane shot deflected off the back there of, I'm not sure who that got deflected off, actually. It might have been Aaron Ramsey, just on the edge of the box. In fact, it was Joe Rodden. No, it was Chris Metham, sorry, got the block in. And it's gone behind for another corner to England. We've played 2.5 minutes, halfway through the stoppage time. Are England going to get a goal before the break? We need something because it's been extremely poor so far. Phil Foden's going to take this corner. It's going to be an outswinger with his left foot from this near side. The corner comes into the far post. The header comes in from John Stones. It's going to go towards the goal, but it's easily caught there by Danny Ward. Not really under too much pressure. There was no power on that header from Stones. Nice, comfortable catch for the Wales goalkeeper. In fact, the header got a slight deflection off Ethan Ampadu, I think it was. And it was nice and comfortable there for Danny Ward. And another England set piece comes to nothing. And we are now, in fact, there's another little injury there to Ampadu inside the penalty area. Ethan Ampadu plays for Spezia in Italy, actually, of course, former Chelsea player. But it was John Stones' header there. And maybe just got a little nick on the Wales defender. And we are now coming down towards the final minute of stoppage time at the end of this first half. A very, very poor first half of football, has to be said. But Wales now have an opportunity on this near side. Maybe Roberts coming forward, but Rashford gets there just ahead of him. It's going to be a throw though to Wales. And Roberts just pushes Rashford out of the way as he tries to get the ball. And it's going to be Roberts to take this throw. In fact, the referee wants a word with both of the two players there. Wasn't really anything in that. But anyway, the referee didn't like it. But it is a throw to Wales. Are they going to get an opportunity to create something before half time? That would really give them a lift, wouldn't it, going into the second half? It's going to be Connor Roberts with this long throw. on the near side for Wales. Is this going to be a moment for them? In fact, he throws it back. A little bit of space here. Played in to Joe Allen on the edge of the box. Joe Allen with a shot on the turn. Just over the top. That's the first effort Wales have had at goal. England a little bit sloppy defending there, it has to be said. Joe Allen, it was nice first touch and then hitting the shot. It was always going high over the crossbar there, but England defending there, we was asleep in the final few seconds of this first half. And that shot, had it been maybe 5 or 6 inches lower, it may well have gone in that top corner. And that would have been totally against the run of play, it has to be said. But in fact, there goes a half-time whistle. It is half-time, 0-0. And that's probably about right. England have had much more possession, as you would have expected. Wales have been quite happy to sit back and look for the odd counter-attack, but they've offered no threat whatsoever. In fact, that shot there from Joe Allen at the very last moment of that first half was the only effort at goal that they've had. England haven't done much better, to be honest. We've had a lot of corners, not really created much from them. Just that one big chance early on for Marcus Rashford. Harry Kane put him through. But good goalkeeping from Danny Ward, a decent save. And that's pretty much the tail of that first half, very poor. But as things stand, with the second half to come, England 5 points, USA 5 points. They'll both go through. Iran on 3 points and Wales on 2. And they would both go out. So Iran and Wales have got it all to do in the second half. If either of those two are going to qualify for the second round, or the first knockout round, sort of second stage. But England are in pole position, but the performance again has been very, very poor. I mean, really, really poor. In many ways, you have to say this is probably worse than the performance against America, because Wales are just not very good at all. They've created nothing. They don't even look like they're going to create anything, and they have to win the game. Whether they'll come out more in the second half, maybe their plan was just to keep it tight in the first half, keep themselves in the game for as long as they can. Maybe that was their plan, and then they might come out a little bit more as the game goes on. I don't know, but Wales have been extremely poor, and England have only been ever so slightly better, which isn't saying a lot if we're totally honest. But anyway, luckily the first half's finished and we're halfway through this game. Terry says, thank God that's over. Well, there's no way the second half can be this bad, surely. Well, no, you'd imagine not. But then we said that against America the other night, and it was. But I don't know. I just think in the second half, Wales have to win this game, and that keeps me thinking that at some stage or other they are going to have to start taking some chances, getting the ball forward, and trying to at least win some free kicks and some set pieces high out of the pitch, because otherwise they're going out of the World Cup with a whimper, aren't they? And the more they push on, the more risks they take, then you'd imagine there'll be space for England. And hopefully that might lead to a few chances for England to goal and make it a better game. But there needs to be some sort of spark. Something needs to happen, whether it's a goal or whether it's a big challenge. There's not even really been... There's been a lot of silly little fouls, I would say, as opposed to any... there hasn't been any sort of big tackles or anything like that you normally get in sort of derby matches. And if you remember the game between England and Wales in the Euros in 2016, that was full-blooded, wasn't it? There were tackles flying all over the place. That was a proper game, whereas this feels like a friendly almost. It's played at friendly pace. And, yeah, considering it's a World Cup game, considering how important it is in terms of the group standings and, Wales have to win, it's been extremely, extremely poor. But maybe the second half will be better. Maybe you're right, Terry. Let's hope so. But... yeah, if we're looking at the America game the other night, then we have to say that we thought that was going to be better and it wasn't. So who knows? But it certainly can't get worse, can it? Let's hope not anyway, because it just lacked urgency, I think. And the one thing with football, what makes football such a great sport is that sort of, the urgency of the two teams going for each other and trying to win the game and stuff like that. And that's what you want. But yeah, very, very poor. Anyway, there's been some sort of Arsenal-related news in a way. It's not really Arsenal-related anymore, but of course, former Arsenal player Kolo Touré, we all remember him, don't we? Brilliant player, one of the invincibles, of course, for Arsenal. He has just taken over as manager of Wigan. So there you go. He's got a job as manager. I think it's his first managerial role. He's obviously he was at Liverpool. I think he was a coach there. He's been a coach at Leicester. He was at Man City coaching as well, wasn't he? But he's got his first managerial job at Wigan. So we're all going to be... Wigan are going to be a team we're going to be following quite a lot now, aren't we, to see how they're getting on. So Kolo Touré, the new manager of Wigan. So that's exciting news, isn't it? So let's see how that works out for him. So yeah, good luck to him. That's all I can say, and hopefully he'll do well, because he was a great player for Arsenal, wasn't he, Kolo Touré? We loved him, but starting his managerial journey. So him, Patrick Vieira as a manager now. There's a few of the invincible teams maybe will start getting a few more managerial jobs. Right, Edu, of course, is technical director at Arsenal, isn't he? Another one of the invincibles. So they're all kind of, they're there, aren't they? Freddie Lundberg is he still at Arsenal's academy? I'm not sure if he is. He was a manager of the academy, wasn't he? But yeah, obviously Thierry Henry's been a manager a couple of times, not really worked out. He's maybe better as a pundit anyway, isn't he, Thierry Henry, I think. Obviously Dennis Bergkamp's coaching, isn't he, as he has done in Ajax. So, there may be a few more of the invincibles become managers, But anyway, Kolo Touré has got a new job as manager of Wigan, so well done to him. And let's hope he does well. The more ex-Arsenal players that are doing well as managers, then that's a good sign, isn't it? Especially the younger managers, because they can potentially be future Arsenal managers, aren't they? Because let's face it, no manager lasts forever. So, it's nice to have a backups there, isn't it? And former Arsenal players, they'd be the best managers to have. Oh, we finally got our guest in. Look, here we go. Been busy today. You haven't missed much anyway. It's been terrible.
No.
Yeah, it's just been terrible. It's exactly the same as the game the other night, really. Just probably worse because Wales are worse than America. Well, yeah, pretty much. It's been nothing happened really. One chance we had, Rashford. That was it.
Oh.
It's been really, really poor. Terry says there, it's like both managers don't want to lose. Well, yeah, I mean, that may well be the case, but Wales have to win. Not losing is no good for Wales, is it? They have to win. So surely in the second half, they've got to come out and take a few more chances at some point. They've got to try and get the ball forward more. They've got to try to win some set pieces and put us under a bit of pressure. They've had that one shot, that was it, in the very final moment of that half. That's the only shot they've had at goal. A team that needs to win. Ramsey's hardly touched the ball. I think Bale's touched the ball twice. For a team that has to win, you've got to get your best players on the ball, haven't you? And Wales hasn't managed to do that. Their best players for Wales have been in defence. I thought Nico Williams was playing really well until he had to go off. I think Chris Metham's played well. Joe Rodden's looked pretty solid. The goalkeeper's played well. So that's their best players. Wales' defence, and they need to win the game. Yes, they can't concede a goal, but I want to see a bit more ambition from them in the second half, surely. Terry says, shame Kolo didn't talk his brother into joining us, but congrats to Kolo. Well, as far as I was aware, I'm sure his brother didn't he have a trial at Arsenal at the same sort of time when Kolo was there? I'm sure he did, Yaya, didn't he? And for some reason, I don't know whether it was Arsene Wenger didn't fancy him or something like that. He definitely was at Arsenal having a trial or something. He was before, the start of his career. I'm not quite sure what happened, but anyway, it was a shame he didn't join us because he was brilliant, wasn't he? Yaya Touré, but yeah, Kolo Touré, a bit of an Arsenal legend, and let's wish him luck in his first managerial job. So we'll all be sort of secret Wigan fans now, won't we? Checking on their results, making sure they're doing well, and if he gets promoted into the Premier League. That'll be two of the Invincibles managing in the Premier League, won't it? Which would be nice. But I said they're just showing the only chance Wales had in that whole half, which was like one shot that went over the top just before half time, and that's it. And that's if you need to win a game, you're going to have to show a little bit more than that, aren't you? Really. And even a win might not be enough for Wales as things stand because America are beating Iran. They need that game to be a draw, which Iran showed enough against Wales to suggest they can get a draw against America, but as things stand, it's going to be England and the USA going through. England would be playing Senegal and USA would be playing Holland, and that'd be pretty good games, wouldn't they? I suppose for the next round, but that'd be.
Was that Ian Rush?
Ian Rush, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's Ian Rush. And was that Didier Drogba? It looked a bit like, didn't it? I think that might have been Didier Drogba. Anyway, it was Ian Rush, yeah. One of the greatest goal scorers in English football history. I remember that Liverpool team in the 80s when he was scoring 30, 40 goals every season. Incredible. I always felt of Ian Rush, he wasn't a fantastic football player. He didn't always have a great touch, but he scored. He just scored goal after goal, didn't he? It was just incredible. And, he's one of the greatest ever strikers who played in English football, isn't he? But unfortunately for him, he was Welsh, so he didn't have much of an international career, did he? Imagine if he'd been English and he could have played for England at that time when, scoring all them goals, he would have been great, wouldn't he? But yeah, let's see what happens in the second half. They've got some sort of light show in the stadium at the moment, which has been more entertaining than the game, which is probably why they've done it, actually.
Isn't it?
But anyway, we'll be back underway in the second half very shortly, and let's hope for some goals or something to happen. But yeah, another really, really poor performance from England.
Oh.
We don't look anywhere near like, you know, I know it's only the group stage, and you know you can't necessarily read everything into the group stage of a competition because it doesn't really mean anything. It's just a means to an end, isn't it? You get through your games to get through to the next round, and hopefully then you push on. But you look at some of the teams that's played so far that we've seen. France, for example, look really good. Brazil, you know, even some of the teams that have struggled a bit, Argentina, you know, they look like they've got much better individual players than us. They look like they've got much more of a I don't know, much more idea of what they're doing, much more attacking threat. All these teams, and you know, we look miles away from any of them. We really do. You know, you're looking at the what we've seen in the group stage so far. You can probably name 6 or 7, 8 teams that look much better than us. You know, and unless we improve a lot very, very quickly, our chance of winning this seems very little. But having said that, you know, knockout football doesn't always work in that way, that it's not always the best team on a day that wins a game, is it? You know, you take your chance, and we've got players who can score goals. There's no doubt about that. And maybe that's what we'll have to rely on. I always go back to Italy in '82. They were terrible in the group, and they ended up getting better and better. They had Paolo Rossi to score their goals, and they won the World Cup. And, you know, there's nothing to say that we couldn't do the same. But other than the fact that so far we've just looked lacking ideas, we've looked lacking energy. It looked like it was Pulisic that scored America's goal, actually. I think it was Pulisic with the goal. He got injured when he scored it. Or it might have been an own goal, actually. But anyway, he crashed into the goalkeeper when he scored, Pulisic. So his goal is currently putting America through. They'll be second place behind us if it finishes as things are at the moment. But I say 45 minutes left. Anything can happen. Hopefully there'll be a few more goals in this game. Certainly, Wales are going to finish bottom of the group as things stand, and probably deserved so because they've been terrible in this game. They were terrible against Iran, and I didn't watch them against America actually, but they didn't look as though they played that well in that game either. So yeah, Wales have come to the World Cup to make up the numbers, I think. Terry says, USA won up. Yeah, they are 1-0 up. Yeah, Christian Pulisic with that goal. So they may well be going through. And I think that would be right. That I think, you know, America deserve to qualify from the games that I've seen them play. But, you know, still 45 minutes left. If Iran can come back, but they've still got a chance to go through. But, yeah, Wales are on the verge of going out. And to be honest with you, they won't be missed, will they, in the World Cup? The way they've played and the quality that they've shown is just not there. But then you look through their team and, you know, it's what they are. You know, they're mostly mid-table Premier League players with a couple of players who play outside the Premier League as well. And that's what they are. That's what their team is. So would we have expected much else? Probably not. You know, I expected a little bit more spirit from them, maybe a little bit more fight in this game against England, but I don't know, maybe in the second half they'll show that. But Gareth Bale's a spent force now, isn't he? I don't have any doubt about that. And, you know, as much as it hurts us to say it, Aaron Ramsey as well, I think he's a spent force as well, you know, and probably just finishing his career in France, you know, and that's it. Certainly they both lack that sort of spark that they used to be able to provide for Wales. You know, they you know, in that tournament, wasn't it, in the Euros when they reached the semi-final, those two were brilliant, wasn't they, for Wales? And they're nowhere near that level now. And without those two, with that extra bit of quality, they've got nothing else, have they? You look through their team, you know, Kiefer Moore, their centre forward, very, very one-dimensional. You know, he's pretty strong, good in the air, but he's not going to do anything else, is he? You know, Daniel James, he's quick and he can run past people, but he's not had the ball. He's not really going to offer much. As you look on their bench, I mean, they've got no one on the bench that stands out. Maybe Brennan Johnson, who's doing well at Nottingham Forest. He's a potential, isn't he? Perhaps Harry Wilson, who's at Fulham now. He's a decent player, maybe in midfield. He could come on perhaps and do something. He can score goals. But other than that, you look on their bench and it's like, well, they've got no one to come on, Wales, have they? This is just where they are. How they've managed to qualify for the World Cup, I don't know. But they're here and they're probably not going to be here much longer. But we're more focused on how poor England are, actually. how poorly we've been playing. In fact, Bale's gone off at half time, and Johnson's come on. I was just saying about Brennan Johnson. He's actually just come on. And I don't know whether Bale was injured. He didn't do anything in that first half at all. He didn't contribute a thing. And he's the captain. So you would imagine, unless he's injured, that wouldn't be the substitution you'd make. Unless something's happened at half time, maybe there's been a few teacups thrown around, maybe, who knows. Aaron Ramsey's been given the armband for the second half anyway, and Gareth Bale's gone off, and Brennan Johnson, and he was probably their best player on the bench, so he's probably the right player to come on, and maybe he can offer more than Gareth Bale did. But England are about to kick off, attacking the goal to our right in this second half. That's the end where the England fans are, and we're off and underway in this second half, hoping for a little bit more excitement than we had in the previous 45 minutes, but I'm not overly hopeful that there will be. But anyway, we'll see. England are in possession, though, over on that far side with Harry Maguire. Plays it square to John Stones. Now it's up this near side to Kyle Walker. And it's gone back to Pickford, back to Walker again. And this is a pattern that England like. Just keep the ball sideways and backwards. And that was played up to Marcus Rashford. But when Gareth Bale's sitting on the bench, he seems happy enough. So maybe it's just an injury issue he's had to go off with. Maybe there hasn't been any kind of any dramas at half time. Anyway, England are coming forward now. Rashford up this near side. That's a poor touch, though. And Joe Rodden will play it back to goalkeeper Danny Ward, whose kicking's been absolutely terrible, but he's played pretty well other than that. The Wales goalkeeper. But England are in possession again over on that far side. Are we going to show a little bit more ambition, a bit more energy in the second half? Jude Bellingham plays it square. But again, England have lost the ball. Played out to that far side. Phil Foden plays it in field to Jordan Henderson, but he's lost possession. Aaron Ramsey, it was, picked that up with his blonde hair. He always seems to have blonde hair at tournaments, doesn't he, Aaron Ramsey? And when he's not playing in tournaments, he doesn't. He's on the ball again, Ramsey. Dinks the ball out. That's a decent ball, actually. It wasn't Keith Moore. It was Brendan Johnson, actually, over on that far side. I think he just fouled John Stones. But that was a bit better from Wales, actually. In fact, it was Luke Shaw. He did just foul him there. He couldn't get the ball under control anyway, Johnson. But that was a little bit better from Wales, looking to get the ball in behind that England defence. It was Ramsey with the pass over the top. But it is a free kick to England, which Jordan Pickford's taken, goes short to Harry Maguire. Plays it into midfield to Jordan Henderson. And this is all very predictable from England. Ball's out to that far side, Luke Shaw. Back to Harry Maguire again. He dinks the ball up the far side. Over the far side, that's a bit better. Jude Bellingham now on halfway. Again, there's nothing really in front of him, so he's forced backwards because there's no real movement ahead of him. Harry Kane's just sort of standing about, not making a run in behind. There's a long ball there from Declan Rice looking for Marcus Rashford. That's a good defensive header from Ben Davies, I think it was. But England are in possession again. Rashford just touches it off to Kyle Walker. Rashford seems to have switched sides in this second half. Him and Foden have switched wings. So Foden's now on the left and Rashford on the right, which is where I thought they were going to start, but they didn't. But they have switched them over at half time. A little tactical switch there from Southgate. Foden now is on the ball. It's a good run from Phil Foden, and he's brought down. He's on the edge of the box. He is. The referee's given the free kick. It's a decent run that from Foden. He's got a low centre of gravity, hasn't he? And he's a good dribbler with the ball. He did well there. Got in between a couple of Welsh defenders. He was driving on towards the edge of the penalty, and in the end, it was Roberts. In fact, it wasn't Roberts. It was Roden who actually fouled him. Roberts kind of couldn't get there, pulled out, and then Foden just flicked the ball inside, and he was fouled. But that was a good run from Foden. That's what you want to see him doing more of, because that's what he's good at. He didn't really get the opportunity in the first half to do anything like that, but that was a good run. And it's a free kick to England about, 6-7 yards outside the penalty area, just slightly over to the left-hand side. This is an opportunity to get a shot away here, whether it be Luke Shaw. Harry Kane's over it, but Harry Kane actually moves away. So we'll see who's going to take this. Luke Shaw would probably be favourite. He's taken most of the free kicks, hasn't he, Luke Shaw? You need Kieran Trippier to come off the bench for one of these, because we know how good his free kicks are. He's the best free kick taker in the squad, actually. But we're going to have to take this one without him. But will it be Luke Shaw? Will it be Marcus Rashford? Jordan Henderson's just in front of the ball at the moment. He just moves away now. Actually, it might be Marcus Rashford lining up for this one. I think it might well be Rashford. It is Rashford over the wall. Oh, Rashford
get
scored. It is
in.
1-0.
Come on.
Surely that's Wales out. Marcus Rashford it was with the goal, the free kick.
That was a good goal.
We knew it was a dangerous area for Wales there, that free kick there. And it was a great free kick from Marcus Rashford. And it is, I'll put this red. So it is a goal for England. Finally, it's took a long time to get one. And we have finally got one. Marcus Rashford it is with the goal. A really good free kick. Wales now need at least 2 goals or they are going home. And England look as though we're going to win the group. As we should be doing, really. And Terry says there, what a strike by Rashford. It was a great free kick, Marcus Rashford. He's had a hard time of it over the last couple of years, hasn't he? But he seems to be finding his form again. He's got a few goals for Man United this season. That was a great free kick over the wall. Danny Ward had no chance. Maybe Danny Ward just shuffled over to his right a little bit, didn't he? Which meant he was never going to get there. And it went over the wall into that opposite corner. And Danny Ward couldn't get it. But a great strike from Marcus Rashford. And England finally have a goal. And we are now surely going to win this group to set up a game with Senegal at the weekend, which is going to be fun, isn't it? So we'll see what happens there. But there's still time, obviously. I think England just picked the ball up again, actually. Now Harry Kane plays it across the 6-yard box. It's going to be 2-0. It is 2-0.
Oh,
it's Phil Foden. 2 goals in 2 minutes.
Wow.
That was a mistake at the back from Wales. Harry Kane with the cross. And Phil Foden taps it home. And England now have definitely won the group. There's absolutely no doubt about that now. Wales are going home. And England have finally struck gold in this second half. 2 goals in 2 minutes. Terry says there, Foden 2-0 indeed. It was an easy finish for Foden. But it was well worked, actually. England won the ball back high up the pitch. Harry Kane it was with the low cross to the far post from this near side. Wales just gave the ball away. It was Rashford actually won it back, found Harry Kane. He drilled it across the 6-yard box and Foden wasn't going to miss from, about 6 yards out. It was Ben Davies caught in possession there. And suddenly Wales were under pressure. Harry Kane did well. Roden, his former Tottenham teammate, couldn't block the cross. And nobody picked up the run of Foden. And an easy finish, tap in at the far post. They're the sort of goals that you love, when the goal's there just to put the ball into. And Phil Foden, his first World Cup start, his first World Cup goal. And England are 2-0 up, and surely that is it. Wales, get your plane fired up because you are going home. Kiefer Moore on this near side. Wales look as though they're suddenly starting to show a little bit more ambition now. They're 2-0 down, but it's too late. And I think England are just going to win this game now at a canter. Harry Kane, he hasn't scored in this World Cup yet. He's going to want a goal, isn't he, in this group stage? And he's just been fouled there, just inside the Wales half. Got a couple of assists, Harry Kane, but he hasn't managed to get himself a goal yet, has he? So he'll be desperate. It was Aaron Ramsey who fouled him. Again, the Arsenal-Tottenham rivalry there, maybe.
Oh,
he's fouled him a couple of times, hasn't he, Ramsey? And I think a little bit of frustration there with how this second half started for Wales. We played 53 minutes. It is now England 2, Wales 0. Marcus Rashford and Phil Foden, the 2 players who came into the starting lineup for this game, have both scored. 2 of the 4 changes have made their mark on this game. So you could turn around and say it was a masterstroke from Gareth Southgate, couldn't you? He made the changes and they scored the goals. I personally wouldn't say it was a masterstroke from him, but anyway, there's certainly an argument to say it is. And Wales are trying to come forward themselves now, but Harry Maguire's across there. Good defending again from Maguire. But again, like the America game, not put under massive amount of pressure. He looks comfortable if he's not put under pressure, doesn't he? If he's not got a quick, nimble striker running at him, he's going to be comfortable all day long, isn't he? And tonight he's got Kiefer Moore, who isn't that type of player, is he? So my worry is going to be when we play some of the potentially South American teams later on in the competition, or some of the better European teams, that's when Harry Maguire is going to struggle, I think. But so far, so good. He was good against... He's had 3 good games, Harry Maguire. But look at the teams that we've played and look at the potential opponents that we'll get later on. We'll see. But hopefully you get a bit of confidence up from these performances. But Wales now, I said they're starting to come forward a little bit more now. The game's sort of up for them anyway. It's Aaron Ramsey on that far side. That's a decent cross. Looking for Kiefer Moore overhit slightly, but Daniel Jones will keep this in. Running that, Kyle Walker cuts inside, plays across to the far post. Oh, Jordan Pickford didn't really do anything with that. He kind of let it go. I don't know whether he knew it was going to go out. There was no one behind him, but or was it just his little arms couldn't reach it? His little arms couldn't reach it. Look, oh, bless him, bless his little arms. He couldn't quite. They couldn't get there, could they? Look, he tried. Luckily, that ball was always going wide at a far post anyway. But that would be the danger if Wales did get a goal back now. There's still so much time left that you never know. But they haven't really offered anything, and even his little arms couldn't help Wales to get a goal. Pickford plays it short now to John Stones. England looking comfortable, and 2 quick goals at the start of the second half have pretty much sealed this game. But I mean, Wales coming forward again, actually. Kiefer Moore going to try a shot from distance. He does. It takes a deflection. That's a good save, though, from Pickford. He did get his little arms in the way of that one. It was deflected. He looked like he was sort of wrong-footed a little bit there, the England goalkeeper, because of the deflection off Harry Maguire, I think it was, the back of his big slab head. It was, actually. And in the end, Pickford had to adjust his foot in, and he did get his arms to that and pushed it away. But it's a corner to Wales, their first corner, which Daniel Jones is going to take from this near side. Can Wales get a goal back? And it would certainly give them hope, wouldn't it? They need to win, obviously. A draw wouldn't even be enough for them. But anyway, from 2-0 down, I'm sure they'll take a goal at least. But that's a cross towards the far post, not a great cross. And again, Harry Maguire's there with a good header. And in fact, the linesman's flag's up for offside. And it is going to be a free kick to England. 10 minutes into the second half. England 2-0 up and looking good for not only the victory here, but also to top the group. And, you know, for all the criticism and the fact that England haven't played particularly well, we've topped the group. And that's, you know, we couldn't have done any more, could we? You know, it'd be 7 points out of 9. And, yeah, nice and job easy done here. We're going to be some substitutions now. Some players who haven't played in this World Cup yet. Trent Alexander-Arnold is going to be coming on. Callum Wilson's going to be coming on. And there was another one as well, which it was Kelvin Phillips as well, who hasn't played in the World Cup either. So getting some players on the pitch for this final sort of 35 minutes or so. Now the job's done, get a few players on the pitch, which is a good management from Gareth Southgate. This actually some good substitutions as well. So it is Kyle Walker's going off for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Harry Kane's going off as well. Still a little bit of doubts about his fitness, I think. He's going off, and obviously Callum Wilson's coming on, and Declan Rice is going off, and Calvin Phillips is coming on for his first appearance as well. So they're the changes for England, giving some players a little bit of a rest. Harry Kane maybe needs it, I think, and Declan Rice as well going off, and Calvin Phillips coming on. He's got rather strange hair, hasn't he, Calvin Phillips? But anyway, I'm sure he likes it. That's the main thing. So they're the 3 substitutions anyway. So Trent's on, and Callum Wilson's on, and Calvin Phillips is on. So they're your 3 substitutions there. Terry says Harry Kane off indeed. Yeah, Kane's gone off, and Ben Davies actually has just gone down injured for Wales as well. While those substitutions were going on, he may have to go off as well. Another Tottenham player. And there'll be no Tottenham players left on the pitch, which is a shame, isn't it? Should he have to go off? But it was his mistake that led to the second goal. Well, it wasn't just his mistake. It was terrible defending from Wales all round, really. And Foden made the most of it to get his first World Cup goal. So a great moment for him. And Marcus Rashford as well. It must be his first World Cup goal, is it? I don't know if he did score last World Cup, did he, Marcus Rashford? I don't think. I can't remember. But anyway, England are now pretty much guaranteed topping the group. So we will be playing at Senegal. And I think is it on Saturday or Sunday? I can't remember now. Let's have a look and see when the game is. I know we're playing. It will be Senegal that we're playing in the next round. Let's have a look and see. So the knockout game. Where are we? Oh, it's on Sunday. Sunday night it will be at 7 o'clock. So that's going to be fun. Looks like it's going to be England against Senegal. That looks as though that's the way it's going to work out, unless by some miracle Wales find a way back into this game and get a draw and America win. Oh no, Iran would have to win, wouldn't they? Anyway, pretty much guaranteed England have won the group. But anyway, Wales coming forward again. Aaron Ramsey then tried to turn past Jordan Henderson, but England have won the ball back. You'd imagine England have got the opportunity to go on and get a few more goals with half an hour still to play. Henderson there tried to find Foden, but Wales have picked the ball up again. Ben Davies seems as though he's okay. He's back up on his feet again anyway. He's back on the pitch, so he has managed to stay on. Anyway, Wales in possession now, but Ramsey's put under a bit of pressure there, but they've managed to play the ball out to this near side to Roberts, plays it up to Kiefer Moore, holds it up well, and then plays it back to Joe Rodden. And now it's gone back to Danny Ward. See if the England substitutes can make an impact in this game. Callum Wilson, of course, set up a goal, didn't he, against Iran when he came on. Wonder if he can maybe have a similar impact in this game, maybe get a goal potentially. But anyway, Wales in possession at the moment. The ball over on that far side with Ampadu, Ethan Ampadu. Back to goalkeeper Danny Ward. Now he's played it out to Rodden. And now it's James on this near side. Has a run past Marcus Rashford. But Marcus Rashford gets at him, wins the ball back off him. That's good play that from Marcus Rashford. Now Jordan Henderson. He was caught late off the ball there by Aaron Ramsey, I think it was. And Ramsey's finally going to get his yellow card. He's committed 5 or 6 fouls in this game, Ramsey. He's got away with a few. But this time, that's one too many. And it is a yellow card for Ramsey. He just looked a little bit off the pace in this game. And he seems to be committing fouls just because he's maybe not quite as sharp as he used to be when he was at the top of his game. And he can't quite get those tackles in. He's been late a few times. He was late there on Henderson. He can't really have too many complaints. He did apologise straight away. He knew he was late. That wasn't a great tackle, actually, by Ramsey, has to be said. And he's done a few of them. But anyway, he's going to have to be careful now. He's on a yellow card because you don't really want to get a red card in the World Cup. That would be the second one for Wales. In fact, that's the only red card so far in this World Cup, isn't it? The Wales goalkeeper, Hennessy, in that last game. And that wasn't a nice tackle. And Henderson is now having some treatment. And he may not be able to continue, actually, because it was his ankle. That was his standing ankle it was that he caught. He didn't mean to catch him. It was just a late tackle, really. And I say he's done a few of them, Ramsey, tonight. He's just checking on Henderson's back on his feet again. And the two captains now, actually, because I say Ramsey's taken over the armband. And, yeah, he can't have too many complaints about that yellow card, really. But it looks like Henderson's probably going to be okay. But we'll see. And we've got 28 minutes left. England 2, Wales 0. It's been pretty comfortable this second half, actually. Those 2 quick goals finally put us in control of this match of the group. And, yeah, it's all good stuff. And we'll be playing on Sunday evening against Senegal. That's going to be interesting, isn't it? They're not a bad side, Senegal. You know, they're okay. But, yeah, they got a good win today against Ecuador to seal their place. It certainly won't be an easy game, and I certainly think we're going to have to play a lot better than we did against America or even today. We haven't played brilliantly today. We've just managed to get those 2 quick goals. And there's actually a foul there by Henderson on, I think it was on Rodden, actually. Or was it? Actually, no, it looked like Rodden's got a head injury there. It looked like he headed the back of Callum Wilson's head. And he's gone down. And he's going to be a free kick to Wales. 63 minutes played. England are just comfortable now. And it's just really, can we add to our goal tally in what remains of this game? And I'm sure Pickford will want another clean sheet, won't he? We did get a little bit sloppy, though, didn't we, in that Iran game? When we got the game sealed, we sort of switched off a little bit, didn't we? Conceded a couple of sloppy goals at the end. And we just need to try and be more focused in this game now. You know, let's do a professional job, see this through, try and add another goal or two, and keep a clean sheet. But anyway, Rodden has had to go off, not permanently. He's had to come off the pitch because he had some treatment. And we are back off and underway again. And Rodden is back on again for Wales. That ball forward is flicked on by Kiefer Moore. It's played forward. It's an England head that gets there. Marcus Rashford chasing it. It has gone back to Danny Ward. He kicks it up his near side, and Trent Alexander-Arnold's in there, finds Marcus Rashford, but Rashford's offside. It's going to be a free kick to Wales. And so far, the substitutes haven't really had much opportunity to really get into this game, have they? In fact, there's going to be another substitution now. Looks like Kyle Walker is... not Kyle Walker. Kieran Trippier, is going to be coming on for Luke Shaw. So he's going to be playing left back, you would imagine. Luke Shaw's getting a bit of a rest. Doesn't look overly impressed, but then which player likes to be taken off? So, you know, he's not going to be happy about it, is he? But anyway, he's getting a rest, and Kieran Trippier is coming on. And after playing right back in the last game, he's now going to be playing left back for the remainder of this last 25 minutes here tonight. So there's now 2 Newcastle players on, actually.
2?
Oh, yeah. Wilson and Trippier.
Oh, right. Trippier been on all the time, though, wasn't he?
No, he's just come on. Trippier's just come on.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, the other game was played.
Yeah, he played the other game, yeah.
He played the other game, wasn't he? So he's come on, and then Callum Wilson's on as well. Oh.
Yeah, the 2 Newcastle players on.
Come on, the 2. Come on.
So Roberts on his near side for Wales, holding off Alexander-Arnold, keeps possession. Well, actually, Roberts plays it into Joe Allen. Now it's with 16. Is he another substitute? Oh, yeah, Joe Murray. Oh, Joe Murray's just come on as well for Wales. Not sure he went off, actually. Is it Ethan Ampadu? Can't see him anyway. I didn't see that substitute. It must have been when England were making theirs. But Joe Morrell's on, who plays for Portsmouth. Of course, drew Tottenham in the FA Cup, didn't they? So I'm sure him and Ben Davies have had a little bit of a discussion about that today. They'll be coming up against each other in January. Anyway, Wales are now in possession up this near side, but Marcus Rashford blocks that ball from Roberts. Shane's in the chat as well. It is Shane. He says, "Hi, are you enjoying the World Cup?" Well, not really enjoying it, I would say, but it's, you know, it's been okay.
It's football, isn't it? You love football?
Yeah, it's been okay. I must admit, I've not watched many games live. I've watched a few, but not an awful lot, really. You know, the times of the games aren't always great, are they? During the day, it doesn't help. Normally watch the evening game, which, you know, generally is okay. There's been a couple of good games, been a few poor games.
The France game was good. I watched a bit of that.
But yeah, there's been some all right games. There's been some poor games. There was that 3-3 game yesterday, which obviously I didn't watch that. It was during the day, but I saw some highlights. That looked like it was quite a lively game. I mean, it's all right, isn't it? It's just, it shouldn't be played in this country where it is. It shouldn't be played at this time of the year. But you know, it is what it is. We might as well watch it. I suppose it's on, and hopefully England might do okay. But you know, we've won the group anyway. So that's the first thing we had to do, and let's just hope we improve, because so far England haven't really been that great. You know, yes, we played well against Iran, but certainly against America and against Wales, we haven't been great. But
I don't think we've played any good opposition yet.
We're going to get... No, we haven't. But anyway, Rashford's in now on his near side. Marcus Rashford inside. Yeah, it's his first goal. He's going to get another one. Oh, yes, it's 3-0. Marcus Rashford gets another one. He is doing well, actually. It was a good goal there. He did all that himself. Really, really poor goalkeeping, it has to be said. But it was a nice goal from Rashford. And that's his second of the day, his second of the tournament. And that was a good goal as well. It's a good little run, cut in from this near side, England's right, cut in, got inside the penalty area. And yes, it's poor goalkeeping through the legs of Danny Ward. And he wasn't offside. Looking at it, he was miles onside. It was a good ball initially over the top.
He kept control. He didn't
cut back inside and then fired it in. Yeah, the goalie should save it, but he didn't. And yeah, it was a nice goal from Marcus Rashford, and that's 2 for him. Yeah, goalie should save it straight at him. Really, it's gone straight through his legs. But anyway, you know, it is what it is. I'm sure Marcus Rashford won't care.
Oh, I hit off his leg.
Straight through his legs. Yeah, but anyway, never mind. It is 3-0 now, and England are in total control. We've actually scored 9 goals in this group so far, which is incredible, really. When you look at how poor we were for the whole game against America in the first half of this game, we've scored 9 goals in the group so far, and there's still time, 20 minutes, to get double figures. And that would make us probably the top scorers in the group stage, potentially. Obviously, there's still a whole round of games to come, but we might end up being the top scorers in the group despite playing some negative football. But anyway, that's life, isn't it? But we're
just take the wins one way.
Yeah, exactly.
You
can only beat what's in front of you. Wales have been very, very poor, you have to say.
Well.
Really, really poor. I mean, they've been probably one of the worst teams in a tournament. But actually, if England can score maybe another 4 or 5 goals, Wales might end up becoming... I've got them in the sweepstake, you see, and one of the prizes for the worst performing team. And Wales might end up becoming the worst performing team because they've only scored 1 goal. They've only got 1 point and they've conceded, 6 goals. So I think England just need to score a few more goals and potentially, they might end up winning me some money for being so terrible. That'd be good, won't it? So come on, Wales, be even worse. I've forgotten about that. The worst team. I might get that. And I think Qatar probably are actually because Qatar probably haven't got a point, have they? Because did they lose today? They must have done.
I don't think they've won yet, have they?
No, I think Qatar are going to be the worst. I think they've lost all their games, haven't they? I didn't see that game actually. They played Holland, didn't they? I think.
That's not very good when the horse goes out.
Well, yeah, but they weren't a proper host, were they?
Well, not really.
Let's have a look. I'm sure they lost that game 2-0 to Holland. So if they have, see, Qatar got no points. So Wales can't even be the worst team.
Oh, you can't get that either.
Qatar have got no points at all. They've got Wales.
They can't even win that.
Why didn't Wales lose that other game?
Never mind.
I think they're the only team that haven't got a point. Qatar.
Who's got some decent teams?
They are. I know Canada. Canada haven't got a point with a game to play. Canada have lost both their games.
Well, who's favourite?
France, Brazil. The usual favourites, really.
Yeah, like I say, I watched a bit of it.
They're the only 2 teams. Canada and Qatar are the only 2 teams without a point. So Wales didn't even manage to do that. That's how useless they are. Callum Wilson now. Is it going to be a 4th goal? Rashford on a hat-trick. Oh, he tried to squeeze it in at the near post, but the goalie saved it with his legs that time. Terry says there, since 2 Newcastle players have come on, Mrs. B, what's that say? Irish accent has got stronger.
Irish? Geordie, man. Geordie.
Anyway, it's a corner to England, and we're looking for a 4th goal to make it 10 for the group stage, which would maybe be our best ever group stage result, wouldn't it? I don't think we ever scored 10 goals in the group stage at World Cup before. I can't think that we have.
The women.
I know the last World Cup we might have done because we scored 6 in one game, and that didn't we? Anyway, the corner's not a very good one, straight to the arm of the goalkeeper.
The women might be getting double figures, you know.
Oh yeah, well the women probably. Well, the women did. They got about 15, didn't they? I know in the last World Cup we beat Panama 6-1, we beat Tunisia 2-1, and then we lost 1-0 to Belgium, didn't we? So
we were in in Scotland, wasn't it?
So we only got 8. We only got 8 goals in the last World Cup group stage, so we've beaten that already, and we've got a chance. Anyway, Wales might get a goal now. Shot comes in from Brennan Johnson, but it's deflected away off Trippier, and it's going to be a throw over on that far side. Shane says there is the standard of player very poor at the moment. How many world-class players who can play in any generation actually playing in this World Cup? Well, not many actually, Shane. I've got to be honest. Obviously, you've got Mbappe. I do think Mbappe is a very, very good player. He's probably been one of the standout individual players in the tournament, probably. But yeah, I agree with you. There's not really that many. You know, quite often in the World Cups in the past, maybe one player that's been what's made them become like a world-class player, hasn't it? That's when that's really launched them by having a great World Cup. And it's still early days, isn't it? I mean, we're still in the group stage, and quite often it's the knockout games where players really come to their own, don't they? And take the World Cup by the scruff of the neck and make their mark. So far, I think Mbappe has probably been the best individual player at this World Cup, but there hasn't really been anyone who's massively stood out. I mean, Brazil are a decent team, but they haven't had outstanding individual performances. They've been working more as a team, haven't they? And most of the sort of better sides have been, haven't they? I mean, France are playing well as a team. It's just Mbappe has looked the only one really for me. Yeah, he's fast, he's strong. You know, I think it's him and Haaland are probably the 2 best players at this moment in time. Obviously, Norway haven't qualified, so Haaland's not here. But those two are probably the you can see Messi and Ronaldo are on the decline, and they're nowhere near as good as they were. And you're looking for the next players to come through, aren't you? And I say at the moment, it's looking like Mbappe is the only one so far that's looked like doing that. And I say obviously Haaland would be, but he's not here. He needs to change nationality. He could have played for England, because I think he was born in Leeds, wasn't he, or somewhere. So he could actually have played for England, and that's a bit annoying, isn't it? Because imagine if we had Haaland playing in this England team, we'd have a real chance of winning the World Cup, wouldn't we?
Looks like Grealish is going to.
But anyway, Grealish is coming off. So Rashford's not getting a hat-trick, but well played, Rashford. 2 great goals for you, my friend. Well done. And he's got himself a couple of goals there, Marcus Rashford. And he's going off with 15 minutes to play. And Jack Grealish is coming on. Maybe Jack Grealish might get himself a World Cup goal as well. But we shall see. He's come on in all the games. Gareth Southgate there with nice words of encouragement there for Rashford following a decent performance from him, a couple of good goals. And some warm applause from the coaches over on the sideline there. But it is a throw to England currently over on that far side. Kieran Trippier takes it, looking for his Newcastle teammate Callum Wilson. But Wales do pick the ball up. The game got a little bit scrappy since the third goal, really. But anyway, it doesn't matter too much. We've got the job done. And England are coming forward again with Jude Bellingham. Plays the ball out to this near side to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Foden's come back over to this near side now, actually. And Grealish has gone over to the left-hand side. Following that substitution. But Trent's just given away a free kick as well. And it has got a little bit scrappy. But I think it's going to be another substitution. I think it's going to be Wales. Now, it's going to be Harry Wilson, actually.
Oh, another Wilson coming on.
Another player that we mentioned before. There's the second Wilson coming on. And it is Dan James going off for Harry Wilson. Of course, plays for Fulham now. He was another player who's played for Bournemouth, isn't he, actually? They've got a few Welsh players, haven't they, Bournemouth? But anyway, he doesn't play for Bournemouth anymore. I think he was at Liverpool initially, wasn't he? And he went out. I think he might have been on loan. Anyway, Bournemouth had given the ball away to Callum Wilson. The other Wilson is a player over. It's going to be a fourth goal, is it? It still will be a second attempt. Foden was in there, but he's put it wide. I think it was Bellingham with the second effort. It was the first chance there was Bellingham's, actually. Good effort. There's a good save. Bellingham tried to get up again, play it across to Foden, and Foden swung his foot out. He couldn't quite get it. In fact, it was deflected. That was a decent save, actually, from Danny Ward. He's had a strange game, actually, tonight. He's made a couple of good saves and made a couple of really bad errors. And Foden has just put that wide. I don't know if it's going to be a corner or whether it was, or whether Foden actually just put it wide himself. No, it must have been Foden's put it wide of an open goal. So that was a big chance there. He was under pressure, to be fair, but he should score. But anyway, Wales get away with that one. And they're coming forward themselves now, maybe looking to see if they can get what would only be a consolation goal for them, you'd have to say. Terry says there, Messi has never lit the World Cup up. No, he hasn't. He hasn't lit the World Cup up. No, you're right. But he's played in very, very average Argentina sides, hasn't he? I suppose you have to say that as well. But no, he hasn't. We looked at the 1986 World Cup last night on the show, and obviously Maradona in that World Cup took a pretty average Argentina side all the way to the World Cup, didn't he? Because he took the games by the scruff of the neck, and even though they wasn't a great team, he was able to lift them, and they won that World Cup mainly down to him. 2 goals in a quarter-final, 2 goals in a semi-final, set up the winner in the final. He dragged that team through, and he dragged them through the 1990 World Cup as well, didn't he, to get them to the final. So, yeah, Messi hasn't done that, has he? He hasn't really shone at any World Cup, I agree. But, yeah, there hasn't been, most of the last few World Cups, there hasn't been a player that's really done that, has there? I mean, there's been some good individual performances at World Cups, but no one's really took a tournament by the scruff of the neck, have they? And really stood out in the last 2 or 3 that I can think of. No one springs to my mind that's done that. I mean, obviously, Mbappe scored 2 goals in the final last time. He had an okay World Cup, didn't he? He was still very young then, of course. And now, this maybe is Mbappe's World Cup, isn't it? He's at the right sort of age, and he's in a good team to be able to shine. And he's certainly done well so far. Maybe this will be the World Cup that it's going to be known as the Mbappe World Cup. Maybe we'll have to see. But But no, I agree. Messi certainly hasn't, has he, in any World Cup that he's played, he hasn't really stood out. Even Ronaldo, not really, has he? He had that great Euros tournament, didn't he, a few years ago when they when they won the Euros, but he's not really had an outstanding World Cup, has he, Ronaldo? He's scored in the last 5, but he's not had an outstanding tournament, has he, really? Anyway, Joe Allen's just getting a bit of treatment now inside the centre circle. We've got 11 minutes to play. There's going to be quite a chunk of stoppage time at the end of this game because there's been lots of substitutions. The trainers have been on 2 or 3 times. And they're on again now while Joe Allen gets some treatment. He's back on his feet again, so I'm sure he's going to be okay. And they're making another substitution. It is going to be Ruben Colwell's coming on. And if you don't know who Ruben Colwell is, he plays for Cardiff. And he's going to be coming on for Joe Allen by the look of it.
Yeah,
and that just really, this is why Wales are where they are, because, you know, they're bringing on players who play for Barnsley and Cardiff at a World Cup. So, you know, what do you expect is going to happen? You know, they're hardly going to be a team that's going to be at a challenge, you know. Everyone goes back to, was it the 58 World Cup when they got to the quarterfinals, Wales? But in them days, all their team were playing in the English league, weren't they? Most of them. So the top level, and that was the difference. Whereas this Wales team, you know, they're full of, say, mid-range Premier League players and Championship players. So, you know, would we have expected them to do much better than what they have? They've probably played to their maximum. You know, they've got to the World Cup, which, you know, I'm sure it'll be memories they'll always have, but they were never ever going to be able to achieve much, were they, with the player that they've got? And it is Colwell, Ruben Colwell's come on. It'd be a great moment for him and for Cardiff City's club, I'm sure, but it's not going to make any difference to this game now. It's done and dusted. Wales are going home, and England have won the group, and we will play on Sunday evening. So we look forward to that.
Who do we play?
Senegal. Jack Grealish now over on that far side. Jack Grealish with a chance, plays it in to the box to Bellingham, but it's he tried to play the ball back to him, but it got cleared away by Wales, who now I think are just looking to try to not concede any more goals, really. But we'll see what happens in these last 10 minutes or so that remain. Wales have got a throw over on that far side, and they'll want to score a goal, won't they?
Yes, he looked like a young.
Yeah, he's Brendan Johnson, plays for Nottingham Forest. He's a good player, actually. He came on, didn't he, at half time, but he's not really done much. Harry Wilson now. Both teams have now got a Wilson in their team. And they both, of course, did play for Bournemouth together at one time, didn't they? Harry Wilson and Callum Wilson. There was 2 Wilsons at Bournemouth. 2 Wilsons. And now there's 2 Wilsons on this pitch.
Can't get enough of the Wilsons.
No. But they've got a free kick now, Wales, which Harry Maguire has just conceded Kiefer Moore. And Wales have got a chance. If Gareth Bale was on the pitch now, you'd fancy his chances here from a free kick from there. He went off at half time.
Well, I'm not sure. I'll be
Goodness sake.
Are you busy?
I could come in halfway through. Well, has he gone off? He went off hours ago. Anyway, it is a free kick, and Harry Wilson's going to take it, actually. Now, I've seen him score a free kick for Bournemouth. So Harry Wilson will have a chance to maybe pull a goal back for Wales. And this is a free kick. Well, it's about, 10 yards outside? Yeah, it's almost 10 yards outside the area because the wall are lined up just outside the box. Just slightly to this near side, the right-hand side. But Harry Wilson's going to line this up. I fancy he's going to have a ping here. And I'll say I've seen him score from a similar position before. So he's certainly got it in him to be able to do it. What's the free kick like? Straight into the wall. Straight into the wall. So obviously not on this occasion. It is a throw, though, to Wales over on that far side. Harry Wilson leaves it. But that wasn't a great free kick, actually. Straight into the wall. Well, I suppose you could say the wall's done its job, maybe. And that's perhaps the best way to look at it. But, yeah, it didn't even beat the wall. But anyway, Wales coming forward now with Roberts over on that near. So he's done well, actually. Now, Kiefer Moore got a chance to cross it, has he? He'd be better off getting on the end of a cross, really, wouldn't he? But anyway, Roberts again on this near side. He's done pretty well, Roberts, actually, considering, I say, he plays for Barnsley, let's be honest. And Kiefer Moore felt he was fouled, but the referee says no, the ball comes into the box. Or Wales almost get a chance. A shot comes in. It was a substitute. Colwell actually just come on, a young lad from Cardiff. And he tried a shot there from the edge of the box, but it's gone high over the crossbar. I know it's probably his first touch, actually. And it's got into the Wales fans behind that goal. It would have been a great moment for him to have scored a World Cup goal, wouldn't it? He only looks like he's very, very young. But that went high over the crossbar. We are now into the final 6 minutes of normal time, plus whatever stoppages are going to be added on, which
how many do you reckon?
I would say 6 or 7. There's been loads of substitutions. There's been the train has been on 2 or 3 times. So yeah, I think 6. I'm going to go for. It was 5 in the first half.
Right.
There's probably been more, maybe 7 even, but we'll go for 6. Anyway, Jack Grealish in possession over on that far side. He needs to pull his socks up. He does.
He never has his socks up.
No. Harry Maguire plays the ball square to John Stones. Now he finds Trent Alexander-Arnold, who has done okay, not really put under much pressure defensively. It's hard to judge the defenders, isn't it, in a game like this, because they're not having to defend very much. And most of the time they've had the ball and just played a simple pass. So it's hard to judge the defenders really in these sort of games. But, looks like it might well be another clean sheet. 2 clean sheets in a row going into knockout stage is good. It's something to build on. And, yes, we need to play better. There's no doubt about that. We're going to have to play better when we play against some better teams. But, Senegal next, and I think we're good enough to beat them. And then you're in the quarterfinals, and who knows? Anyway, the ball's now back with Danny Ward, whose kick again isn't great. His kicking's been very, very poor tonight, the Wales goalkeeper. And I say he's made 2 or 3 decent saves, but he's also was definitely at fault for that third goal he should have saved. Anyway, America are still winning against Iran, so it looks like America are going to be going through. Iran would need to win that game to top America, but they don't look as though they're going to be able to do that. They need 2 goals in the last 5 or 6 minutes there to turn that game around, and it's going to be England and America. So America will be playing Holland on Saturday in a knockout game. That could be quite a good game, couldn't it? Contrasting styles a little bit, but I mean, America looks a decent team against us. Wales now. Kiefer Moore inside the penalty. Are Wales going to get a consolation? Kiefer Moore tries to bend one in the top corner, but it's gone high over the crossbar. His only real opportunity tonight, actually, Kiefer Moore. He's worked hard, but he's not had any support. He's not really had any quality around him, and he's had a difficult night. But he thought he'd have a go there. He got the ball onto his right foot, tried to curl it in. Good defending from John Stones actually in front of him. Shut the target off, and in the end, that's gone wide. And England look as though we may well get that clean sheet now. Trippier over on that far side plays it back to goalkeeper Jordan Pickford.
I still not believe at all.
Tips it forward. Hey, who?
Still not believe at all.
Or Saka.
Oh. Actually, I don't think Saka had a good game last game.
No, he didn't. But nobody did really.
Well, very true.
I mean, Foden took his place there and Foden scored. So you'd think, well, Foden's going to be favourite to start the next game. But then Saka scored 2 against Iran, didn't he? So, it's good choices to have because they're both very good players, aren't they? So it's a choice for the manager. But, I mean, Foden's done all right tonight. I think he's had a decent game. He scored a goal, missed a goal. But he's done okay, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And he'll certainly be in the running for a place in the team on Saturday. Or no, Sunday, sorry. But you see, the thing is, we've got a lot of good attacking players, and you can't play them all. Grealish, Rashford, Kane, Foden, Saka, Sterling. They're all good players. Conor Gallagher, I like him as well. He's not, Maddison, just back. Maddison's been in the squad for the first time today. These are all good attacking players. They can't all play, but it's good options to have, isn't it? You can bring them on if you need to. But, I mean, whether Southgate can figure it out or not, I don't know. But we'll see what happens in the knockouts when we come up against better teams than we have done in the group. Because let's face it, this wasn't the most challenging of groups, was it? Iran, USA and Wales, let's be honest, it was never, ever going to be a difficult group. And we've done what we had to do. We've 7 points out of 9, top of the group, and happy days. But I think we all know if we are going to go deep into this World Cup, we're going to have to improve. We're going to have to be better. We're going to have to pass the ball quicker. We're going to have a little bit more options, not so much options up front, just a little bit more ideas, really. We've I don't know, the last couple of games, more creativity. Yeah, we've got some very good attacking players, but, we're not creating anywhere near as many opportunities as we could do. But having said that, we've scored 9 goals in the 3 games, averaging 3 a game. And if we kept on doing that throughout the World Cup, we'd win it because, we're not going to concede that many, you wouldn't have thought. So, but yeah, something seems to be lacking. I'm not 100% convinced about this team that can go on and actually win the World Cup when you look at some of the other teams that we've seen. But who knows? Knockout football is knockout football, isn't it? You know, not always. The best team doesn't always win a cup, do they? You know, the best teams win a league over 38 games, but the best team, you don't have to be the best team to win a cup. You just got to find a way to win games. And if England can manage to do that over the next sort of 3 games after this, then who knows? We did it in the last tournament. You know, we wasn't brilliant in the Euros most of the time, but we struggled our way through and got to the final. The last World Cup, we wasn't great really at all, but we managed to get to the semi-final. So who knows?
Well, let's just hope.
You know, the draw seems to be favourable at this moment in time for us. I say Senegal could have been a lot worse. Callum Wilson now trying to get him behind. He's got him behind. Good play from Callum Wilson inside the area. England going to get a 4th goal as we move into stoppage time. We'll see how much stoppage time is going to be. Trent's ball into the box. Wilson again tried to get there, but England didn't really make the most of that. But they haven't actually got it away.
Come on.
It's now with Foden on this near side. He may win a corner as he... No, he's not, because Roberts has kept it. It's going to be 4 minutes only at stoppage time, actually. They maybe feel a bit sorry for Wales because they know this game's done. They know that Wales are out and they know England have won the group, so maybe they've not added on all the stoppage time. You wouldn't think that some of the games have had 9 and 10 minutes. And there seems to have been a lot of stoppages in the second half for substitutions mainly and bits and bobs. But anyway, England have got a corner as we have played 30 seconds of stoppage time. Harry Maguire's up there looking to try and get himself a goal. He did score at the last World Cup, of course, didn't he? Against Sweden, I think it was. Anyway, Foden's going to take this corner in swinger towards the far post. Harry Maguire does head it back into the 6-yard box. It's going to be a 4th goal, is it? Oh, John Stones has missed an absolute sitter from 6 yards. He puts it over the bar, John Stones. That should have been the 4th goal.
Yeah, should be
terrible defending from Wales. 6 yards out there, John Stones. He's got to put that in the net. He's fired it over the top. That's a bad miss, actually. From Stones, and he knows it as well. He scored at the last World Cup as well, didn't he? He scored 2 actually, didn't he? He got 2 against Panama, wasn't it, in that game? So he's looking to get another World Cup goal there. He should have done, quite honestly, but anyway, he hasn't. It's not going to make any difference to the final result here. It's just a personal moment for him, I suppose. Scoring 2 World Cups in a row would have been good, wouldn't it? Anyway, England have got a free kick now. Callum Wilson has just been clobbered from behind by Metham, I think it is, and it is going to be a free kick to England just inside the Wales half. We have played nearly 2 minutes of the 4 stoppages now. It's just, can England get another goal? That's all. That's the only thing left to worry about in this game. The result has been clear for quite some time since the second goal, really. Well, since the first goal went, if we're totally honest, right at the start of the second half, Wales never looked as though they were likely to come back into it. And then the second goal straight after that was it, really, wasn't it? And Rashford did get the 3rd. We might have a chance here for another goal. Have we? Over the far side, in fact, the free kick was taken too quickly. Callum Wilson was in, actually. It looks like he may well have had an opportunity to score there, which would have been a great moment for him, but the free kick was taken too quickly and it's going to come back again. Terry says there, what a miss by Stones. Indeed it was. Shane says there, who can England meet in the next round? Well, we've already decided we've got Senegal because they finished 2nd in their group earlier on today. So we'll be playing them on Sunday evening. And I think we've got a decent chance to beat them. You know, they're a good side. They've got some good players. Missing Sadio Mane, of course, who would have been their best player probably. But I think we've got a good chance of beating them. But we'll see. Knockout games can go. You can't predict them, can you? Really, they're very difficult. But yeah, I'm fairly confident we can beat Senegal on Saturday. So we'll see. But yeah, so that's that one, and it looks like it's going to be USA against Holland, which that could be quite an interesting game actually. Again, Holland have looked fairly decent. They talk about individual players actually. Gakpo, he scored in every game for Holland, hasn't he? He's been good. Anyway, Jake Grealish now on a good run, plays it into the box too. Callum Wilson, he's trying to get a shot away. He can't quite make. He's bobbling around in the 6-yard box. Foden tries a shot. It's blocked.
Dear me, how many times?
That passage of play there kind of sums up this game in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
very,
scrappy.
very scrappy. And England couldn't quite get the 4th goal. As we move into the last 30 seconds of stoppage time, there's another injury to Joe Roden, who's been injured quite a little bit in the second half, actually, but he's only got a few seconds to hang on to finish this World Cup. And it is going to be the end for Wales. They will be flying home tomorrow. And they've not really done an awful lot in this World Cup, have they? But I suppose at least they got there for the first time in 60 odd years. In fact, there goes the
That's it,
full-time
that's
whistle.
it.
It's all over. It's finished. England 3, Wales 0. All the goals came in the second half. Rashford opened the scoring with a free kick. Good free kick, actually. Curled it round the wall into the top corner. Straight after that, Foden scored the second goal. It was a mistake at the back from Ben Davies. Harry Kane drilled a low cross to the far post and Phil Foden tapped it home. And then Rashford got his second and England's third with about, 15 minutes or so to go. Good goal, actually, from this right-hand side, cut in. Beat Roberts, put a shot in, went through goalkeeper Danny Wall's legs, maybe should have saved it, but in it went. It was 3-0. John Stones just missed an absolute sitter at the end, fired over the bar. Foden missed an open goal as well later on. We could have scored a few more goals. Wales were really, really poor. But I say we didn't really expect much else from them. They've gone out, finished bottom of the group with 1 point. England have won the group. 7 points out of 9 goals scored. What more could we have done? Nothing really. America has won 1-0 as well. So they've gone through in second place. They've got 5 points, 1 win and 2 draws for them. They only conceded 1 goal, actually, USA, when that was a penalty to Wales. So they're going to be difficult to beat, I think, America. And they play Holland, of course, in the next round. So that's going to be an interesting game. Cody Gakpo, who's been one of the players of the tournament so far. See if he can break down that American defence that have looked pretty solid. Of course, Arsenal's goalkeeper, Matt Turner's in goal for him, isn't he? So, but yeah, England 2 clean sheets out of 3. Not brilliant. We're not exactly, looking the finished article yet. We still got improvements to make. There seems to be the midfield hasn't been great. There seems to be gaps in between the defence and the midfield. There's holes there. There's holes between the midfield and the attack. Everything's not linking up properly. We're not smooth in the way that we play. Today we were too good for Wales, as we expected we would be, because Wales aren't very good. But yeah, we're lacking fluency. We're lacking, I don't know, the team looks a little bit disjointed still. And yeah, we're going to have to improve as we play the better teams. I personally think we've got enough about us as things stand to beat Senegal on Sunday. But after that, then you get into quarterfinals, you're going to be playing against really, really good teams, aren't you? That's when the World Cup really starts, when you get to the quarterfinals. You've got all the big teams left, and it's going to be tough whoever you get. And we're going to have to be better than we have been if we're going to get any further than the quarterfinal. But we haven't got through Senegal yet. Let's not underestimate them. They've got some decent players as well. We know a few of them from the Premier League. So that's going to be difficult. But we need to improve. There's the whole, the team itself needs to gel a bit better. And if we can do that, we've certainly got enough attacking talent to give anybody problems in this World Cup. Are we secure enough in midfield? I'm not sure if we are. Henderson maybe helped a little bit today. And yes, he's not the most exciting player. We know that, but he maybe gave us a little bit more control. And against better teams, that's what we're going to need. And maybe Henderson will be really useful in those games later on in the tournament, but we'll see. But yeah, we need to improve. Harry Kane's not fit, I don't think. I think, he hasn't scored yet. We're going to need his goals, aren't we, if we're going to get anywhere. And yeah, we've done all we could have done in the group, let's be honest. We haven't exactly thrilled everybody. The Iran game was good, but the last 2 games have been more difficult to watch. Second half was better tonight. We got the goals. We could have scored a few more, but Wales aren't up to much, let's be honest. But yeah, you can only beat what's there. We've done the job, haven't we? And we've got through, and we can all look forward to Sunday night. It's going to be exciting, isn't it? A knockout game at a World Cup. They're always exciting moments when England are in them. We've had a lot of drama over the years, haven't we? Penalty shootouts and God knows what else. So we don't really want anything like that on Sunday. But we're through. That's the main thing. That's all you can do. We've won the group. We've done our job. And yeah, Gareth Southgate's had criticism, rightly so. He's not the most exciting manager, is he? He doesn't have the most exciting style of play or tactics, but he seems to get the job done when it matters. The last 2 tournaments we've done really well, and we've got through again in this one, and we'll march on. And that's job done, isn't it? That's what we come here for. Ultimately, you have to get through the group. You had to. The group that we were in, and we've done it. We've won the group.
Yeah, I think it starts now, really.
Yeah, it does. Well, it's going to start on Sunday for us, really, isn't it?
This is it. You've got past the test. Now you've got to play.
And Terry says, after all that excitement, I hope I can sleep tonight. Yeah, well, it's going to be hard to come down from that, isn't it? But, I mean, to be fair, the second half was better. It was. The second half was decent. To be fair, it was. There were 3 good goals. We could have scored 2 or 3 more. and it was a lot better to watch, a bit more exciting, more stuff happened. So, yeah, let's enjoy that second half because it was better. But yeah, overall, it wasn't the most riveting of games. Let's be honest. And Wales didn't offer anything at all, did they? 2 shots, I think they had a goal all night. And that's not really enough, is it? To be honest, at a World Cup, if in a game you have to win, but it just shows their lack of quality, doesn't it? Really. But yeah, we've done what we had to do, and that's all that we can really worry about. You know, what else happens later on, we'll see. And you don't have to necessarily. It was a good goal. The free kick was a good free kick. Yeah, the goalie, you watch, he moves the wrong way, and then he's never going to get across it. He took 2 steps that way, and then he couldn't get. If he'd stayed where he was, I think he would have saved it. But anyway, it was a good free kick. And that was what we needed. We needed a little bit of magic from somewhere, a little bit something special. We got it with that free kick, and that was set us on our way to winning the game and winning the group. And that's pretty much all that we could have done. Shane says, best of luck in the tournament. Enjoy it. I would give anything for Ireland to be playing. Well, yeah, you've had a few World Cups, haven't you, over the years? Just to give the country a buzz in these strange times. Thanks, I'll see you next time. Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, no, Ireland had some good World Cups, didn't they? I can remember seeing them in a few. So, yeah, it would be nice. Maybe next time, the Euros coming up and stuff like that. So, the thing is, with the smaller nations like Wales and Ireland, you're only ever going to probably get to tournaments once every so often, aren't you? Just because of the resources that you have, the players that you can call on.
You should combine the 3, shouldn't they?
Maybe they should, or maybe make a Great Britain team. But then the Great Britain team would have mostly the England players anyway, wouldn't they? You know, because England have got the best players out. They have. You know, you look at the Wales team today, you look at the Ireland team. No disrespect to them, but England have got better players, and that would always be the case. But yeah, maybe if Ireland, Scotland and Wales combined, then they'd have probably a decent team, wouldn't they? They'd be able to get a decent team between them. But would they want to? Because they're all individual countries and they want to represent themselves, don't they? So they wouldn't want to be one nation.
Nobody likes the English, really.
Well, no, they don't.
Nobody.
No one does like the English, but we don't care. We're still in it and we're going to march on. And hopefully we'll go a long way in the World Cup. But no, I mean, yeah, unfortunately, you've got to hope. For the smaller countries, it's difficult, isn't it? It is difficult, and it's not going to get any easier. In fact, it's going to get harder and harder, isn't it? Because now, the next World Cup, there's 48. They're going to have 48 teams, aren't they, coming to the next World Cup or something stupid? So there's opportunities for some of the smaller nations to more chance to qualify because there's more spots available, but. You look at what Wales have done in this World Cup, and sometimes you think, yeah, it's great to be at a World Cup, and I'm sure those players will treasure their memories that they've had of being there. The ones that played minutes on the pitch as well, and it's something they can always say, "I played at a World Cup," but they didn't compete, did they? They wasn't able to compete. They wasn't good enough to compete. And do you just want to go there and turn out, play 3 games, and go home, or do you want to think that you can actually have a go? And I don't know. Yeah, if you get there, you want to do it as well as you can, don't you? But I don't know. Wales qualified. I'm sure their country's proud of them, and they did the best that they could do. But they just didn't have any quality at all, did they? When it mattered, they wasn't good enough to in any game that they played, and they've ended up with 1 point, 1 goal, and they'll be going back home tomorrow, and they'll be able to watch us on Sunday. But yeah, it's tough. It is tough for the smaller nations, and it'll be interesting to see what difference it makes when they have more countries at the next World Cup. A lot more of the smaller nations. Is that going to improve it or improve the World Cup or not? Maybe not, because if you're going to get more and more teams as a quality of Wales and a quality of Qatar, for example, it's not really going to improve the World Cup, is it? It's going to probably make the standard worse. But anyway, we'll see.
You still have the big guns at the top.
Well, yeah, you will. Yeah, you're not going to stop France and Brazil and Argentina and Germany and Italy. I know they didn't qualify for this one. And Holland, all these, England, all these nations that generally do well are going to keep doing well, aren't they? It's not going to make a difference to that. It's just giving some of these smaller nations the opportunity to be at a World Cup.
Yeah.
And it's good for them countries? Is it good for the World Cup as a whole? Probably not. What have Wales brought to this World Cup? Nothing. What did Qatar bring to the World Cup in the football? Nothing. And there'll be a few others in this World Cup the same. Canada, what have they brought to it? Nothing. So. It's tough, but yeah, you want people to be able to have the opportunity, but I don't know. You've got to look at the tournament as a whole, and you want to see the best football, and you want it to be the best possible tournament, don't you? With all the best players, all the best teams, and if you've got Wales in there, for example, and not Italy, would the World Cup have been better World Cup if Italy were in it instead of Wales? You know, but I know it doesn't work like that. You've got to get through your qualifying campaign or whatever. But because they got the bad qualifier. I can't remember who knocked them out. I can't remember what group. I think it was they were with Holland. I think that might have been in Holland's group, and then they lost the playoff. In fact, I think they didn't lose the playoff to. Who was it they lost the playoff to? I can't remember. Anyway, they lost the playoff to somebody, and they've got knocked out. So, but yeah, shame. Terry says, "Well, I must admit, you done well again, Richard, to manage to get through tonight without any pauses, as there wasn't much to get excited. Well, it wasn't in the first half, but you know, the second half was better. Are you going to do a live on Sunday? Yeah, I'll do a live on Sunday, definitely for a knockout game. That's going to be dramatic, isn't it? Probably, because they generally are when England play knockout games at tournaments. It's generally you generally get extra time and penalties and all kinds of nonsense goes on. So yeah, we'll be doing that Sunday, and hopefully that will be, regardless of what happens, I do think there'll be a little bit more excitement on Sunday, just because it's a knockout game and anything can happen. And Senegal aren't a bad side, so yeah, it's going to be fun. So yeah, I'll be doing that Sunday. Before then, of course, don't forget on Thursday. At the moment, I still think Adam and Steve are doing the social extra. I have to confirm that they can definitely do that. And then, of course, Saturday the Arsenal women are playing against Everton. Now, what we're doing is we were going to do the normal show on Friday, but because Andreas is flying over to London because he's going to be at the game, what we're doing instead is on Saturday, before the game, from about 1 o'clock-ish time on Saturday, we are going to be doing a live stream from the stadium. So we're going to have Andreas and Amar. Hopefully we'll get Harry involved. If Matt goes to the game, we'll get him there as well. They'll be in the stadium, so we'll be previewing the game in the ground. We're getting the team news live. Hopefully maybe chatting to 1 or 2 fans in the stadium as well on the show, and doing like a little preview of that game against Everton. And then, of course, we will then do the watch along as well of the game, which starts at 2 o'clock. The kickoff is at 2 o'clock. So please join us for that on Saturday if you can. That's going to be a good one. And of course, Sunday, now we've got the excitement of the World Cup, and England against Senegal, 7 o'clock kickoff. So we'll go live about 6:45 again, build up your team news, all that kind of stuff. And then we'll go into the game. And hopefully England can get through it and be in the quarterfinals again. That would be another quarterfinal. That would be 3 big tournaments in a row with at least one quarterfinal each. So that would be good, wouldn't it, if we can do it? But yeah, we've still got work to do. We've still got improvements to make. And, you know, who knows? Maybe this is going to be the tournament that we just grow into. And who knows where it might end up going. I didn't think we'd reach the semi-final at the last World Cup, and we did. I didn't think we'd reach the final of the Euros, and we did. So who knows? We'll just keep going, keep playing the games, and hopefully keep winning. But we'll see on Sunday. That's going to be good. So definitely join us for that one as well. So yeah, if you like the women's football, join us on Saturday for the Arsenal women, and then on Sunday for England. And then next week we'll have to see what's going on. Obviously, England might have another game hopefully next week at some point. We'll be doing World Cup memories as well, up to Italia 90. Now that was a decent World Cup for England, wasn't it? Italia 90. So we'll be looking back on that one as well in the next over the next week or so. I have to find out what the best night to do that one is, and then on next Wednesday, Arsenal women are in Champions League action at the Emirates against Juventus, so we'll be covering that game as well. So that's coming up on the channel. So join us for that as well. Loads and loads of great stuff. So please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Please give it a like. Actually, I've got these new little things. Look, I'll show you these. These are quite funny. I kind of found these the other day. Where are they? Let's have a look. So what we've got is, so what you need to do is you need to do this. And you need to do this. And also you need to do this. If I click on the bell, because if you click on the bell, then it means that you get notified every time we go live. So they're the 3 things that you need to do. So make sure you do that. That'll be good. So that's that there. Terry says there, my highlight tonight was Mrs. B's Mancunian accent when she gets excited. Mancunian? Oh dear. Oh, she'll hate you for that. They're very precious about their
Geordie.
Yeah, they're very precious about these things up here. So you have to be careful what you say, otherwise you're in trouble. But no, I mean, there was 2 Newcastle players go on the pitch at the end of there, so that was good, wasn't it? And no Arsenal players at all were involved in that game at all, were they? Which is a little bit disappointing. I don't know where Ben White was actually tonight, because he wasn't even on the bench, so I'm not sure if he's injured. But anyway, Saka and Ramsdale only were on the bench, didn't come on. Saka tonight at all. Will he play on Sunday? Bukayo Saka or Will Foden now? Foden with his goal. Rashford with his goals. He's equal joint top scorer. Rashford with 3 in the tournament. So are you going to leave him out? Your knockout game. These are decisions that Gareth Southgate's got to make, and this is what makes you, makes you become a top manager when you have got those tough decisions and you get them right. And we'll see if he does on Sunday and beyond. But yeah, it's a good position to be in because we've got some really good players in that attacking end of the pitch, and he's got to pick the 3 he wants. I still think the problems are more midfield. That's where we're lacking creativity in here, aren't we? Rice and Henderson today, they're very steady players, aren't they? But are they really that creative? No, not really. Bellingham can be, and he had a decent enough game tonight. But yeah, I don't know. Where's that real creative? If you look on the bench, there's not a lot of creative midfield players that we've got. I like Conor Gallagher. I'd be giving him a chance. He's not going to start, obviously. Grealish can be creative, very hit and miss though, isn't he? So that's the problem area for me, and that's where I think later on in the tournament, that's when that aspect of the team we may get found out, because we don't have that creative spark. We've got some good attacking players, but yeah, Saka can, but again, he's been on the bench. He didn't have a great game, did he, the other night? So yeah, we'll see. But that's my area of concern a little bit. But we've done what we had to do. We've got 7 points. We've won the group.
We're through.
And we're through, and we're playing Senegal. And let's be honest, it could have been a lot worse. The draw could have been a lot worse, couldn't it?
Oh, definitely. We could have had France or...
Yeah, well, yeah, the draw was never probably worked out like that. But we could have played Holland if we come second in the group, or if Holland had come second in the group, we'd have played them. But we've avoided Holland. We've got Senegal, and we've got to be pleased with that. But what we've got to do is make sure that we get the result now. The draw was kind to us, wasn't it? In the last World Cup, we got a decent draw, and we need to make the most of it. We made the most of it. Then let's hope we can do the same. Get through Sunday, and then we'll see. The excitement will start to build, won't it? If we can do that. We've got a comment there from Romeo in the chat there, says congratulations. Well, we didn't do much, did we? The players deserve the congratulations. They won the game, but it's good that we're in the next round. We're happy with that, and let's pray that Sunday we put in a good performance. Well, actually, it doesn't matter if we put in a good performance, does it? We just have to win. And now it's in the knockout stage. Does it matter how well you play? Not really. The last World Cup we didn't play that well, did we? And we got all the way through. So, yeah, I'd like to see a great performance. But ultimately, if we win, who cares?
You need a bit of luck as well.
The knockout game is all about the result, aren't they? You've got to win the game, and that's it. And if we win, I don't care if it's a scrappy 1-0, we get a deflected goal in the last minute, or if we win 5-0 and play brilliantly. It makes no difference. We're still in the next round. And you've got to play again in the next round after that, haven't you? So it's no good playing brilliantly in the first knockout game, going through, and then playing rubbish and getting knocked out, is it? It's about managing the tournament as well. And, that's what we need to do. So, but let's get through Sunday first, and then we can worry about the rest of it after. Terry says, cheers, Richard and Mrs. B. Have a great night and the rest of the week. Take care. And see you all soon going home now. Yeah, cheers, Terry, again, as always, mate. I know the game was a bit better, wasn't it, this time? It wasn't as bad as the other night, was it? At least we got some goals in the end. It was a bit more excitement in the second half. Hopefully we'll see you on Saturday. If you're not in anything that we do before, hopefully we'll see you Saturday for the women. And of course, Sunday for the England game in the last 16. England-Senegal is going to be fun. So join us for that. Don't forget to say Thursday, Melvin can't do his show tomorrow now. He was supposed to be doing a Highbury Matters show with John Sperling, but unfortunately, John Sperling's had to postpone. They're going to be doing it next week. They just had to postpone this week. He's got a few personal issues, John, so he can't make it tomorrow. So they've had to postpone that until next week. So, but don't worry, that show will be going ahead. It's just been delayed, so that won't be on tomorrow now. But hopefully Thursday, Adam and Steve will be here for their usual social show. I'm sure they'll be looking at some of the World Cup stuff that's gone on. Obviously, a lot of stuff on social media with the World Cup, so I'm sure they'll be looking at that. And I say I'll be back on Saturday lunchtime with the guys in the stadium at Meadow Park for Arsenal women against Everton. That is going to be good fun to speak to them there and hopefully get a little bit of the atmosphere, pre-match atmosphere, and maybe speak to one or two of the fans in the stadium as well. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? So that's all coming up on Saturday, and of course, a watch along as well. And I say on Sunday, we'll be back for the England-Senegal game, which is going to be fun. I'm not sure. Have we played Senegal before? I'm not sure if we have. We may have done in a friendly. I don't think we played them in a tournament before, have we? So it's all going to be good. Terry says, yes, we're friends. Oh, that's good, mate. Yeah. So if you stick with it, sometimes you get some good ones, don't you? You know, you can't just give up because there's been one bad game. I'd have given up watching England years ago. But yeah, it was better tonight, and yeah, we won 3-0. What more do you want? You know, 3 goals, a clean sheet, and topping the group. I mean, it's happy days, isn't it? So yeah, so thanks for watching again, and thanks for everybody. Thanks for all your comments. I will see you on Saturday. The Steve and Adam will see you hopefully Thursday, and I say we look forward to Sunday. England against Senegal in the World Cup last 16 is going to be a good game. I'm sure it's going to be a good watch along as well. So please join us for that. And we will see you soon. And in the meantime, of course, as always, oh, don't forget to do this, to do that, and to do that as well. There you go. That's what you need to do, just in case you forget. And I will see you again very soon. Take it easy. Did you enjoy that game?
Well, I saw
You
it,
didn't
yeah.
so much of it, did you?
I
Because
didn't
you
know.
didn't get
I
into it
saw
late.
some goals though.
You did all the goals actually,
Yeah,
didn't you?
I know.
So I might as well have stayed out with you and not bothered watching the first half and just watch the second half, all the goals. But anyway,
I got the best of it.
you did get the best of it, yeah. It wasn't as good in the first half, so you're lucky that you missed it.
I was lucky I missed that bit.
You were. But yeah, so anyway, England won 3-0. Rashford with 2.
That's all one. Come on.
And Phil Foden with the other one. So, you know, what more could you want from life? England won the group. We play Senegal. America play Holland. They are the last 16 games at the weekend. So the World Cup's going to really start now, isn't it? At the weekend you get to knockouts. That's when the fun starts. And no doubt there will be 1 or 2 penalty shootouts, I'm sure, as there tends to be at these World Cups.
You've got to have some penalty shootouts.
Hopefully not us, because we're no good at them generally, are we?
No, not for us.
We don't tend to win too many. I think we've only ever won 1, haven't we? No, 2 we've won. We beat Colombia, didn't we, in the last World Cup, and then it was Spain in the Euros '96. So yeah, we don't win many World Cup penalty shootouts, do we? So we don't really want one, but I'm sure there'll be some.
What was the one where Dyer scored the last one?
That was Colombia.
Was that Colombia?
Yeah, that was Colombia. Yeah. That was Colombia. That was when because Pickford saved 2, didn't he?
We were in the
was in the pub, weren't we?
In the village.
In the village pub, yeah, it was good. But yeah, so yeah, that was the last penalty shootout that we won. Let's hope there's not any more for England, but I'm sure there'll be a few penalty shootouts over the next couple of weeks that we can enjoy when it's not England. We can enjoy them. No, they're exciting if other people are involved, but we don't like them because we're no good at them. And I just wonder actually whether what happened last time, whether Saka would take a penalty if he was on the pitch or not. Because he's not missed one for Arsenal since. He scored, 4 or 5 for Arsenal. So, well, no, see, when he took that one in the final, I'd never seen him take a penalty before.
Yeah.
And obviously he missed
that.
There was
a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, there was. And he missed that one, so you're thinking, right, okay.
Oh, but he wasn't the only one that missed.
No, he wasn't. But, you know, he missed that one. And then he started taking penalties for Arsenal last season, and he scored every single one. Now you're thinking he's got more confidence in penalties. He's become a penalty taker. If you're a regular penalty taker for your club and you're on the pitch and it goes to penalties, really you should put yourself forward because you're a regular penalty taker. And he is Arsenal's penalty taker. So he should take one. But would he want to after what happened before? That's the thing, is it? You know, I remember Stuart Pearce when he got that redemption, didn't he? When he missed one and then he against Germany and then he took one against Spain, wasn't it? And he scored. And maybe Saka can do that in one of these games, you know, get that redemption, missing a penalty and scoring the next one maybe. But well, it'll be interesting to see if he takes one. If he's on the pitch, obviously he didn't play tonight, so we'll see if he's even on. But he is a regular penalty taker now for Arsenal, so maybe it'll be his time. Maybe he needs to do one if he needs to. So we'll see. But
maybe he's not hit the last one.
Yeah, maybe not the last one, no. But all that's for later on. We'll see.
Yeah,
we might not need penalties. We might not ever need penalties. Let's hope not. But I won't be surprised. The way that we tend to play, we're very defensive minded. When it comes to knockout games, it's all about not losing. And Southgate's tactics, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a penalty shootout or 2 along the way. But hopefully we can get past Senegal without one. But we'll wait and see. We're through, and that's the main thing. Wales have gone home. Bye Wales. What a shame for you. But I like Wales. We had a nice time in Wales, didn't we? So yeah, we don't mind Wales. But yeah, they wasn't very good tonight. They haven't been very good in this tournament, and they are going home. So that's a shame. But yeah, England are through. We won the group, and we move on to Sunday Senegal. I'll be back Saturday for the women. Please join us In the meantime, as always, come on, you England! Come on, you Three Lions! Three Lions!
Williams on a shirt.
Yes, let's
Come
go.
on, England!
Come on, England! We are through. We won the group. We've got a terrible manager, and we still won the group. So what more can you want? You know, good stuff. Let's hope it gets better, and I'm sure it will. It's going to get more exciting and more fun anyway. That's for certain. So we'll see you very soon. Take it easy, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you on Saturday for the women's game, which is going to be good because the women play good football as well. So we look forward to that. Ta-ra, guys. Take it easy. Thanks for watching. We will see you on the next one. Real Martinelli. It's now with Granit Xhaka. Is it going to be the third goal? It is the third goal. Granit Xhaka with it. That's the